Chapter 2691. The rune Qin Yun is a rune he created by fusing Nether Sun Totem rune and Heavenly Law Divine rune together. After this kind of rune devours divine power, it can quickly transform divine power into blood soul power. After obtaining a large amount of blood soul power, the rune can grow and multiply by itself, continuously increasing in strength. In this way, it is like a silkworm spinning silk. After more and more runes appear, it will form a silkworm cocoon and seal the enemy inside. Moreover, it will constantly devour the enemy's divine power. Qin Yun has already mastered runes through a comprehensive study. With Mo Mo's help, he has already mastered many kinds of powerful inscription spirits. He can naturally fuse all kinds of runes together to achieve the desired effect. There are dozens of personal inscription masters present. When they first saw Qin Yun's 5 fingers drawing runes, they didn't think much of it. They believed that this kind of powerful inscription do technique would be easily broken. After all, the one Qin Yun attacked is a Ling family elder. Generally speaking, 5 fingers drawing runes is a relatively low-level inscription do technique. This kind of rune is not complicated, and the amount of blood soul power poured into it is very small. Even if it has a certain amount of power, it won't last for a long time and can be easily broken by the enemy. However, the inscription net that Qin Yun shot out has already wrapped the Ling family elder into a white silkworm cocoon. There is still no sign of it weakening. Ling Taiyun frowned and quickly ordered his personal inscription master to go over. After all, the Ling family elder is a Ling family elder. Not only Ling Taiyun's personal inscription master went over, Wei Shuangyin and Xian Huazhan's personal inscription masters also went over. Because the rune Qin Yun released just now has aroused their curiosity. Several powerful personal inscription masters, their hands are covered with blood soul power, and it is very difficult for them to open the net. At this moment, they can roughly understand the principle of this set of runes. They're secretly surprised in their hearts, but they don't show it on their faces. After all, this Dragon Saint Master just said that their boss is trash. They can't boost his morale and diminish their own prestige. Of course, Ling Taiyun's personal inscription master is not in the same group as the other young war gods inscription masters. Ling Taiyun's personal inscription master is an old man. He walked back with a look of shock on his face. Moreover, he is pondering over the runes he just touched. To him, those runes are very mysterious and wonderful. Ling Daixin and Imperial Yao Yao never expected that a casual attack from Qin Yun would produce such might. In fact, they only know that Qin Yun is a powerful inscription master, but they don't know how powerful he is. The Ling family's elder was just wrapped up by that set of runes. At this moment, he was so angry that his face turned green. However, he didn't dare to say anything because he knew that the set of runes was very strong. Old Zhang, what's with that set of runes just now? It was just an inscription battle technique. How could it be so powerful? Its might was comparable to a high-grade heavenly talisman. How can a rune casually drawn with inscription do technique be comparable to a high-grade heavenly talisman? Ling Taiyun is very doubtful and asked in a low voice. This was also the question on everyone's mind. A high-grade heavenly talisman takes from 1 to 20 hours to make. It mainly depends on the inscription master's skill. But the rune drawn by this long Saint Master has such might, it is truly inconceivable. The person who spoke is an old man from ancient Yu clan. Wei Shuangyin said with sneer, "That is not even an inscription battle technique. He prepared it long ago. How could a rune released in an instant reach this kind of might? Everyone, don't be fooled by him." His personal inscription master also promptly nodded and said, "That's right. He used some special technique, so we didn't see the heavenly talisman he prepared beforehand. So he used heavenly talisman. No wonder." Yu Luanhui said with sneer, "Using heavenly talisman to pretend to be inscription battle technique. Do you think we are blind?" Xian Zhankuan from Sun In Divine Race also said with sneer, "Using heavenly talisman is nothing special. But then again, this kind of scoundrel who used heavenly talisman to pretend to be inscription battle technique can only deceive ignorant little girls." Xian Huazhan laughed loudly and said, Ling Daixin, did you see that? What kind of bullshit is this personal inscription master you invited? Truly a stupid woman, being cheated of money and sex. That's why I looked down on you from the beginning. Yu Yongyao said with smile. Luckily, this bullshit dragon Saint Master jumped out early. Otherwise, I would have fallen into this pit. Ling Daixin, you should properly enjoy this swindler. Ling Daixin also thought that Qin Yun used heavenly talisman, but she did not blame Qin Yun. Instead, she is very happy. First, Qin Yun helped her. Second, although her reputation is not good, the number of people who want to marry her will be fewer and fewer. Yu Xingyu repeatedly shook his head and said, using heavenly talisman to pretend to be inscription battle technique. This is bad conduct for an inscription master. This kind of person is not worthy to be called an inscription master. Exactly. Truly throwing the face of us inscription masters. Wei Shuangyan's personal inscription master mocked. While Qin Yun is being condemned by thousands of people, Ling Taiyun's personal inscription master Old Zhang suddenly said, are you all blind? He did not use heavenly talisman. Did you all see heavenly talisman? Elder Zhang, you must be blind. We clearly saw heavenly talisman. Xian Huazhan's personal inscription master said with smile. You are old. Your eyes are blurred. Being fooled by a little trick is very normal. Majority of the people present nodded repeatedly. They also said that they all saw Qin Yun use heavenly talisman. Actually, no one saw it. They just don't believe that someone can release such a strong rune with 5 fingers. Let's go. Qin Yun pulled Ling Daixin's hand. He did not explain in front of everyone. After all, his main purpose is to not let other people marry Ling Daixin. This is also the reason why Ling Daixin asked him to be her personal inscription master. His current identity is only Dragon Saint Master. It is a fake identity, so he doesn't care about it all. Just as he pulled Ling Daixin to leave, he was suddenly stopped by Xian Huazhan. You swindler, don't be in such a hurry to leave. You said we are not worthy to marry Ling Daixin. This is slander and insult us. You want to leave just like this? Xian Huazhan took out a long sword. The long sword body blocked Qin Yun's path. Ling Daixin immediately pulled Qin Yun behind her. She who has always maintained elegance and gentleness. Now her expression became ice-cold and fierce. She angrily rebuked. Get out of the way. Aya. So this Dragon Saint Master who only knows how to brag is actually this female war god's beloved child. Xian Huazhan laughed loudly and said, I think this Dragon Saint Master is not an inscription master at all. He is just a swindler, specialized in swindling those stupid women. Everyone burst into laughter. Qin Yun released Ling Daixin's hand and calmly said, You all didn't see clearly just now. Now you must see clearly whether I am using heavenly talisman or not. As he spoke, he began drawing runes with his 10 fingers. Moreover, he is drawing towards the sky. It is now nighttime, and many light ribbons suddenly appeared in the sky. The blood spirit power Qin Yun released is filled with waves of dragon might. The light ribbons he drew are all like dragons. It's dragon transformation rune. Old Zhang shouted in alarm. The expression of all the personal inscription masters present greatly changed. This is not as simple as dragon transformation rune. They can all see that this dragon transformation rune is a totem rune. It is extremely likely that it is a dragon totem. Moreover, it is a very rare dragon totem. There are many kinds of dragon totem, and many people have mastered them. However, what Qin Yun is drawing now is completely different from what they have mastered. The dragon-like light ribbons quickly appeared in the sky, and indeed, very quickly formed a dragon. A large number of runes interweaved to form a huge dragon. It let out a roar in the sky, shaking the entire great heaven divine city. What are you doing? Xian Zhangquan's expression changed. He promptly rushed over and angrily rebuked Qin Yun. Do you want to fight? Qin Yun said with sneer. Didn't you say that I used heavenly talisman? Then take a look now. Did I use heavenly talisman? Aren't there many personal inscription masters present? If you have the guts, come and compete with me. Those personal inscription masters who ridiculed Qin Yun earlier now don't dare to come forward. Qin Yun laughed loudly and said, You don't dare? All of you come together. If you personal inscription masters are all trash, then your bosses are also trash. If even your personal inscription masters can't compare to me, then your boss can't even compare to me. Where are you going? Ling Daixin and Yu Yaoyao promptly sent voice transmission to Qin Yun, telling him to quickly stop and not continue. They are afraid that he will cause a big problem. Ling Taiyun is also extremely shocked. He did not expect that someone would want to challenge a personal inscription master present. Everyone looked at the terrifying dragon in the sky. They're shocked, and at the same time, they want to know the origin of this dragon Saint Master. Why does he have such a powerful dragon totem? Wang Saint Master, you are a famous inscription saint of our great Yin divine race. Why are you afraid of him? That is just a dragon, Xian Huazhan said to the middle-aged man beside him. Wang Saint Master's expression is very ugly. He secretly cursed Xian Huazhan for not understanding inscription. If he understood inscription, he would definitely know how terrifying that dragon is and how powerful the dragon transformation runes are. All of you come together. Qin Yun saw that there are no personal inscription masters. He shouted loudly, "A bunch of cowards! Didn't you all say that I used Heavenly Talisman? Why don't you all come together?" The big shots present are all stunned. Dozens of personal inscription masters actually do not dare to attack together. Just now you all saw that the runes I used are very strong. You all don't want to admit that I am very strong. So you pretended to say that I used Heavenly Talisman. Qin Yun laughed loudly. There are actually a bunch of idiots who believed it. Those idiots are not only stupid, they also have eyes but can't see. You bunch of trash, you still dare to laugh at others. Yu Xingyu, who is beside Yu Yaoyao, also has an ugly expression because he really thought so earlier. Ling family elder was the one who was hit by Qin Yun's inscription battle technique. After he was rescued, he did not say a single word because he knows best whether or not he has the Heaven Talisman. If you don't attack, I will. Xian Huazhan suddenly jumped into the sky. His long sword stabbed towards the dragon formed by the runes. Chapter 2692. The huge dragon condensed from runes in the sky was hit by Xian Huazhan's sword images, but the runes did not scatter. This caused many inscription masters to cry out in alarm and disbelief. Xian Zhankuan flew up to pull his son back, but seeing that the rune dragon did not resist, he felt that his son should be able to kill the dragon. So he watched from a distance and decided to participate. Naturally, Qin Yun is not confident that his runes can defeat a war god. Xian Huazhan is a great Yin war god. He is not a weak chicken like Yin Tianyi. The reason why he is happy is because he, Xian Huazhan, a great Yin war god, is actually fighting against the rune dragon he condensed. Although Qin Yun used 10 fingers to draw runes before, with the help of Heavenly Eye, his rune drawing speed became even faster. Moreover, he is also using body condensing rune technique. Through his powerful body, he can condense runes inside his body and use them when needed. In this way, coupled with Heavenly Eye, he can instantly release very complex and powerful runes. The dragon that appeared in the sky now seems to be condensed from a powerful dragon totem, but there are other powerful runes inside. Xian Huazhan saw that the dragon is only flying around and did not attack. He laughed loudly and said, "This dragon looks very powerful, but it is nothing more than this. It is just putting on airs." The reason why Qin Yun chose Dragon Totem is because this is the Heaven's Mandate Holy Land. It can be said to be the territory of Dragon Race. The divine power released by the Heaven's Mandate Dragon Lake can make dragons stronger. The same is true for Dragon Totem. It can absorb the divine power of the Heaven's Mandate Holy Land. Especially in the depths of the Great Heaven Divine City, there's a large amount of Heaven's Mandate Dragon Lake's water. Only dragons can sense and absorb the divine power released by the Heaven's Mandate Dragon Lake. It is very difficult for other living beings to detect it. And Qin Yun can see through his heavenly eye that the Heaven's Mandate Dragon energy has changed into many colors and is floating around the Heaven's Mandate Holy Land like a dragon. Now that he has opened his heavenly eye, he can see that a large amount of Heaven's Mandate Dragon energy is being absorbed by the Rune Dragon. The Rune Dragon originally had Nether Sun Totem inside, so its devouring power is very strong. Now, it is crazily absorbing the heavens' mandate dragon energy. What was even more shocking was that this was only a set of runes, yet it was able to block several of the great Yin war god's attacks. Xian Huajian had wanted to slay the dragon with his sword, but now it was impossible for him to break through the dragon's defense. At this moment, the dragon suddenly flashed with golden light and gradually became smaller. Has the rune's energy been exhausted? Xian Huajian's attack is effective. It doesn't seem like it. That dragon's divine power is still very strong. Everyone guessed. Xian Huajian's god power was indeed terrifying. The sword chi that was released from his sword was like a raging gale. Every time he swung his sword, everyone had to release their divine power to block it so that their hair wouldn't be messed up by the airwaves. After the dragon formed from the runes flickered with a strong light, it was struck a few more times by Xian Huajian, but did not suffer any major damage. The rune dragon condensed into a ball of light. After shrinking, it turned into a sword. The hilt of the sword was engraved with a dragon head, and a golden dragon coiled around the blade. Just a moment ago, it was still a dragon. Now, it had actually turned into a sword. Furthermore, it was condensed from runes. What kind of rune combination is this? All the inscription masters present are dumbfounded. Under Qin Yun's control, the sword immediately stabbed towards Xian Huajian like a golden lightning bolt. Xian Huajian gritted his teeth. His heart is filled with endless anger, because he already sensed that he, a war god, is actually fighting with someone else's rune that was drawn in an instant. He is now riding a tiger. It is difficult for him to get off. If he continues to fight, even if he defeats the rune, he will not benefit from it. After all, it is just a rune drawn by someone else. If he doesn't fight, he will definitely be laughed at by others, saying that he can't even defeat a rune released by someone else. Xian Huajian looked at the golden sword thrusting at him and shouted loudly. Then he also thrusted his sword. The sword in his hand is covered with a layer of translucent gray bubble. Qin Yun squinted his eyes and discovered that it is a very strong divine moon power. This kind of power has a great impact on one's mind and soul. Runes are condensed from the power of blood soul. The mental power and soul power inside are the most important. This guy has some ability. Qin Yun controlled the Nethermoon totem inside the dragon sword to revolve. The dragon's sword stabbed forward. When it was about to touch Xian Huajian's sword, the Nethermoon totem revolved and produced a devouring power. The moment the two swords collided, the divine power condensed inside the Xian Huajian sword was quickly devoured. Boom! Vibration accompanied by a loud sound spread out. Energy wave rippled in the air. Xian Huajian, who is in the air, was jolted back more than 10 steps, and the dragon sword was also sent flying. Qin Yun managed to keep the dragon sword from being shattered. This is already very good. This guy is quite difficult to deal with. Qin Yun continued to control the dragon's sword to attack. It flew everywhere at an extremely fast speed. The people in the plaza looked at the battle in the sky and began discussing in astonishment. After Xian Huajian was sent flying, he became extremely angry. Divine power suddenly burst out from his body, causing the entire Great Sky Divine City to suddenly tremble. And in the plaza below Xian Huajian, the divine power attack caused a violent gale to howl in anger. Everyone promptly released divine power barrier to block. This damned lousy rune. Xian Huajian now finally knows why other personal inscription masters don't dare to accept the challenge. Because even if there are runes condensed by dozens of inscription masters, they will be instantly destroyed. Using inscription do technique, it is impossible to destroy the dragon sword. I will help you. Xian Zhanquan also knows that if he doesn't destroy the dragon sword, his son will not give up. Xian Huajian's entire body burst out with divine power. He rushed towards the dragon sword and furiously chopped. Xian Zhanquan also rushed over it this time, pushed out a palm, and attacked with powerful palm power. Rumble. The sky trembled and a loud sound rushed down. Everyone let out a burst of exclamation because the dragon sword has finally been destroyed by Xian Huazhan. However, the moment the dragon sword exploded, it also produced a very strong power, causing Xian Huazhan and Xian Zhanquan to be in a very sorry state. The remnants of the violent aura in the air transformed into a violent gale that blew chaotically. Xian Huazhan and Xian Zhanquan's clothes are tattered. Their faces are covered in dirt as they fell down from the sky. Their expressions are extremely ugly. The father and son pair had to take action to destroy the rune condensed by someone else. This is somewhat funny to see. At the same time, everyone also felt that Ling Daixin's personal inscription master is very terrifying. The rune he condensed can actually contend against the war god of the sun in divine race. Xian Huazhan, you are very awesome, Qin Yun said with a smile. You are not an inscription master, but you can destroy the rune I condensed. Admirable, admirable. Xian Huazhan stomped his feet in anger and said angrily, What do you mean by this? Nothing. Qin Yun chuckled. His laughter is filled with ridicule. Huazhan, he is trying to infuriate you. Don't fall into his trap. Xian Zhanquan is after all an old fox. He knows that Qin Yun is deliberately infuriating Xian Huazhan and making him continue to make a fool of himself. Qin Yun looked at the personal inscription masters and said with a smile, It should be an inscription master who came out to fight. You personal inscription masters are all slackers, right? Those personal inscription masters are gnashing their teeth in anger because Qin Yun made them lose face. At this time, Yu Yongyao said, Your inscription do technique is indeed extraordinary. The runes you have mastered are really eye-opening. Even though I am not an inscription master, I can use my Yu Ancient Clan's talisman to defeat you. Do you dare to use runes to block my talisman? Yu Yongyao is Yu Luanhui's son. He must have many good talismans in his hands. Qin Yun is not the least bit afraid. He said with a smile, What do you mean by using runes to block your talisman? Instant inscription do technique runes are originally very weak, and your talisman took a very long time to make. Its power is naturally great. It should be me using inscription do technique to attack, and you using talisman to defend. Yu Yongyao very confidently said with a smile, Everything is fine. Everything is fine. How about this? We can both attack. We can both defend. You use runes. I use talisman. This can also be considered a duel of inscription. Sure, Qin Yun said with a smile. His heart is filled with killing intent. Yu Luanhui sent Black Dragon assassins to kill him. Now he is facing Yu Luanhui's son. This is a good opportunity. He naturally will not be lenient. Yu Yongyao dared to come out to fight Qin Yun. It is clear that he has obtained Yu Luanhui's consent. It is even more likely that Yu Luanhui let him come out. Because from the battle between Xian Huazhan and the Dragon Sword, Yu Luanhui more or less understood that no matter how strong Qin Yun's runes are, they are not stronger than heavenly talismans. Everyone present can more or less see that the talismans Yu Yongyao will use are certainly not ordinary talismans. It is extremely likely that they are high-quality heavenly talismans. These heavenly talismans are not cheap, but they are also not very expensive. If there are many inscription masters in the clan, these heavenly talismans would be relatively easy to obtain. Ling Daixin and Yu Yaoyao are somewhat worried. They can see that Yu Yongyao is very confident. He is certainly prepared. Qin Yun is not afraid. He has Ancient Yu Clan's Imperial Life Heavenly Talisman. It is a very powerful protective talisman. It will automatically activate in times of danger. Xian Zhanquan and Xian Huazhan father and son are also standing at the side watching. They feel that they were a bit stupid just now. They actually used heavenly talismans to attack the dragon sword. Otherwise, they would not be in such a difficult situation. The plaza where the banquet was held is now a mess. Everyone has retreated to the side. Yu Yongyao has a sneer on his face. He is holding a golden talisman in his hand. After Yu Yaoyao saw the talisman, she said in low voice, This talisman is a high-quality heavenly talisman. Yu Yongyao wants to use a high-quality heavenly talisman. Qin Yun has already condensed many runes inside his body. He can attack at any time. I will let you attack first, come. The talisman in Yu Yongyao's hand is used for defense, but he is letting Qin Yun attack first. He clearly has some kind of purpose. Qin Yun quickly drew a white, ferocious tiger. Seeing this tiger condensed from runes, Sun Yin divine race and Great Heaven divine race people feel that it is very familiar. Isn't this the white tiger totem that only the white tiger royal family of Nine Sun Tiger Clan has mastered? Ling Taiyun said in shock. This Dragon Saint Master is not only proficient in Dragon Totem, he also has White Tiger Totem. Chapter 2693. Yu Yongyao stood motionless, holding the golden heavenly talisman in his hand. He looked at Qin Yun with a confident smile, waiting for Qin Yun to attack. Even though he saw Qin Yun controlling the White Tiger Totem, he was not afraid. He was just surprised, because everyone knows that the White Tiger Totem is a very rare totem. In the Nine Sun Holy Land, even among the Nine Sun Tiger race, only a few members of the White Tiger royal family can use the White Tiger Totem. Earlier, many people thought that this Dragon Saint Master might be from the dragon race. After all, his surname is long, but it is not reasonable for the dragon race to control the White Tiger Totem. Inside the Nine Sun Holy Land, the relationship between the Nine Sun Tiger race and the Nine Sun Dragon race is very ordinary. They do not share their powerful totem runes. Qin Yun rarely uses the White Tiger Totem. He is using it now to see if he can absorb the Heavenly Mandate Dragon energy using other divine beast totems in the Heaven's Mandate Holy Land. After drawing the White Tiger Totem, he immediately confirmed that the White Tiger Totem cannot absorb the Heavenly Mandate Dragon energy. And even so, the White Tiger Totem is still very strong. After taking shape, it let out a roar filled with violent killing intent. Although this violent White Tiger Totem was formed from a large number of runes, it looks so real right now, just like a real white tiger. Qin, the White Tiger Totem condensed by Yun through the Beast King inscription spirit, is naturally very strong. It caused the elders of the Great Heaven divine race and the Great Yin divine race to feel that the White Tiger royal family has released their totem. Come! Yu Yongyao shouted confidently. Qin Yun controlled the White Tiger Totem and fiercely pounced towards Yu Yongyao's body. The tiger claw is very big. It can completely cover a person. When it landed on Yu Yongyao's body, the golden heavenly talisman in his hand suddenly flashed with golden light. Bang! The rumbling sound actually came from Qin Yun's body. Qin Yun seemed to have been ruthlessly struck by someone from the back as he was sent flying forward. Crowd people immediately cried out in alarm. The White Tiger Totem attacked Yu Yongyao, but the one being attacked is Qin Yun. Great! He immediately understood that this was definitely the work of the heavenly talisman in Yu Yongyao's hands. It diverted the power of the White Tiger Totem's tiger claw to Qin Yun's back. Qin Yun himself was also very surprised because he couldn't sense any aura coming from behind him. He didn't know the principle behind it. It could be said that before the attack came from behind, he didn't feel it at all. Yu Yongyao laughed. What do you think? How does it feel to hit yourself? Yun was ruthlessly struck by the tiger claw, but he had the protection of the Imperial Life Heavenly Talisman. The fierce power of the tiger claw was dispersed by the Heavenly Talisman, so he was completely fine. However, everyone thought that he had suffered serious internal injuries. After all, the power of that tiger claw was very strong. Qin Yun controlled the White Tiger Totem and shot out a bolt of white lightning towards the laughing Yu Yongyao. When the lightning struck, Yu Yongyao's body was immediately covered by the golden light of the Heavenly Talisman. Also at the same time, Qin Yun dodged to the side. His movement speed was very fast, but he was still attacked, and his whole body was sent flying. Good if not for the protection of the Imperial Life Talisman, he would have been beaten into a sorry state. Unbelievable. Even if I dodged quickly, I was still locked onto. What's going on? Qin Yun is very puzzled. Just now, he tried to sense again, but did not sense any spatial fluctuation. However, he also discovered that the powerful power that attacked him was not the divine power of the White Tiger Totem, but another kind of divine power. The protective barrier released by his talisman can transfer all kinds of attack power to my body. Qin Yun roughly understood, but he did not know how to defend. Yu Yongyao laughed. Longsheng Master, aren't you very arrogant? Continue. I will stand here and let you hit me. Yes, the one who will be injured in the end will be you. The elders of the great heaven divine race and the great Yin divine race are shocked and envious. Then they walk towards Yu Luanhui and praise the power of the heavenly talisman. Yu Luanhui is very proud because even the great heaven divine race and the great Yin divine race have to be polite to him. This is one of the 10 great heavenly talismans of our Yu ancient clan, the Imperial Life Heavenly Talisman. The user of this talisman can transfer any kind of attack to a living being or an object that he wants. This kind of heavenly talisman is very difficult to break. Yu Yaoyao snorted and said, using such a powerful heavenly talisman, isn't this bullying? One of the 10 great heavenly talismans of the ancient clan. This was no longer an ordinary upper-middle grade heavenly talisman. Qin Yun had heard about the 10 great heavenly talismans of the Yu clan from Yu Song Yuan. Out of the 10 great heavenly talismans of the ancient clan, only 5 were left. Admit defeat. Yu Yongyao laughed proudly. There's no way to break the heavenly imperial talisman. Even the talisman masters in our clan who have studied this talisman for many years can't find a way to break it. Qin Yun did not have any thoughts of admitting defeat. Instead, he felt excited because he wanted to obtain the Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman. No, regardless of whether it was useful or not, he had to get it first. Attack me as much as you want. I won't hit you. I'll just sit here and watch you torture yourself. Yu Yongyao was even more pleased with himself. What is there to be proud of with a heavenly talisman passed down by your ancestors? Yu Yaoyao mocked. Even though that was the case, everyone present was envious of Yu Yongyao for being able to use such a precious heavenly talisman to compete. One must know that when facing a strong enemy, a heavenly talisman like this would be of great help. Not only could it save one's life, it might even be able to kill an enemy stronger than oneself. Qin Yun did not know much about the Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman, but he guessed that there must be a bloodline heavenly rune inside it. It should be using the strange power of the bloodline heavenly rune to quietly transfer power. Is the Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman locked onto my soul? Or is it my body? Qin Yun controlled the white tiger to attack again. This time's attack was not very strong because it was just a probing attack. The white tiger only used its claws to attack, so the power generated was relatively weak. The Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman, converted the impact into divine power and transferred it to Qin Yun. After Qin Yun sensed it, he laughed in his heart. Do these guys from the Yu ancient clan really think that I can't do anything to this talisman? He already thought of a way to let the white tiger totem hit Yu Yongyao. Qin Yun is one of the 10 great heavenly talismans of Yu ancient clan, so he knows that this kind of heavenly talisman has the special divine power of the bloodline heavenly rune. My Imperial Heaven Dao image fused with the bloodline heavenly rune egg, I can use this power to condense runes and disturb the operation of the talisman. But this might be exposed. Yin thought about it and decided not to use this method for now. He still has another method, which is to disturb the target of the Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman. If it is through the soul, it should be very easy to disturb the Heavenly Talisman's lock. Yin drew runes again. This time he mobilized his soul power, combined it with star and moon runes. He can imitate a very strong soul aura. Very, very quickly, he produced 10 of these soul runes and controlled them to scatter in all directions. Useless, useless. Yu Xingyu shook his head and said, no matter what kind of attack, the Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman can transfer it to the target. Yu Luanhui proudly laughed and said, if we can fight in close combat, maybe it will be useful. And if we use Rune Do technique to attack from far away, it will be even easier for the talisman to absorb and transfer it. Divine power released by runes can be easily absorbed by the bloodline heavenly rune inside the Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman. After Qin Yun released the 10 soul runes, he quickly drew 10 groups of runes. These 10 groups of runes are very strange. After they are formed, they all look like human figures. These 10 groups of runes converged with the 10 soul runes. Then they formed a circle with Qin Yun and surrounded Yu Yongyao. Qin Yun and the 10 groups of runes began flying around Yu Yongyao. Their speed became faster and faster. Finally, it became so fast that people can't see them clearly. All the inscription masters present are very puzzled. They want to know what Qin Yun is doing. Yu Yongyao and Yu Luanhui have mocking smile on their faces. They think that whatever Qin Yun does is futile. Overall, all the Yu ancient clan people believe that Yu Yongyao will win. Qin Yun and the 10 human-shaped runes quickly circled and stopped. The 10 human-shaped runes unexpectedly became exactly the same as Qin Yun. This is equivalent to suddenly having 10 clones. Also at this time, Qin Yun controlled the white tiger to attack. Attack with all your strength. Qin Yun let the white tiger totem attack several times before, but he did not use all his strength. After using all his strength, it is equivalent to the white tiger totem exploding. The power is very strong. The entire white tiger totem ferociously rushed over. The runes burst out with very strong white light. Moreover, they are crazily changing and evolving. Rumble. The white tiger totem collided with Yu Yongyao's body and burst out with intense and glaring white light, followed by Yu Yongyao's miserable scream. The ray of light was so dazzling that everyone had to close their eyes. Qin Yun immediately locked onto the Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman that is floating down, then used his mental power to control it to fly over. Got it. Qin Yun hastily put away the Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman. Follow soon. The glaring white light disappeared. Yu Yongyao fell on the ground and started vomiting blood. He did not faint. He still has some consciousness. Yu Luanhui's expression is very ugly. He let out a strange cry, then rushed over to help Yu Yongyao up and fed him a pill. Yu ancient clan people looked at each other in shock. The Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman did not block the attack. Present, there are still 11 Qin Yun on the scene. No one can tell which one is the real one. Qin Yun smiled and waved his hand. The other 10 clones suddenly rushed into his body. The Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman must have locked onto my soul, then combined with the talisman user's eyes to double lock. I threw the runes. It can split my soul and my body. This way the Imperial Luck Heavenly Talisman will not be able to lock onto the target. There will be a short period of confusion. Chapter 2694. Ancient Yu clan is mysterious and powerful, causing great heaven god race, great Yin god race, and law enforcement world to be afraid of them. Just now, they saw the power of the Imperial Heavenly Talisman. They were secretly frightened and tried to think of a way to resolve it. Now they saw that the Imperial Heavenly Talisman was broken by someone, and they are very happy. Even though Qin Yun's method is very difficult to implement and requires very strong comprehensive ability, it is a direction. At least there's a way to break it. Ancient Yu clan people are very unhappy in their hearts. After all, the Imperial Heavenly Talisman is a powerful heavenly talisman that they are very proud of. Just now they swore that their ancient Yu clan had tried for many years but could not find a way to break it. But now it has been broken by someone. Yu Xingyu's old face is boiling hot again. He decided not to comment on this Dragon Saint Master anymore. Ling Daixin is very happy. She finally saw the power of this little divine king. She was very arrogant before. She thought that she could definitely take down this little divine king. But after meeting Qin Yun in Yu Yaoyao's room, her confidence was completely shattered. And now, she thinks that even Great Heaven War, Godwei, Shuangyin might not be able to take down this little divine king. Qin Yun has already obtained the Imperial Heavenly Talisman. He wants to make a copy because it is very useful. It can make people unable to guard against it. After Yu Yongyao ate the pill that Yu Luanhui stuffed into his mouth, his body is still twitching. He wants to speak, but he can't. Even though he is conscious, he can't even use spirit sound transmission. His injuries are not light, an old man said with frown. Yu Luanhui furiously looked at Qin Yun and coldly said, "It is just exchanging pointers. Why are you so heavy-handed?" We agreed to use ordinary high-grade heavenly talisman, yet he used such a powerful heavenly talisman, Qin Yun said with sneer. At this time, Yu Yongyao's body suddenly swelled up. Yu Luanhui cried out in fear and immediately poured divine power into Yu Yongyao's body. And Yu Yongyao's body became bigger and bigger. It is as if he is inflated. Crash! After Yu Yongyao's clothes were torn apart, his skin is filled with runes. Is the white tiger totem that Qin Yun just drew, it is now inside Yu Yongyao's body. Everyone knows that this mysterious dragon saint master has mastered an extremely brilliant inscription battle technique. Previously, he had taken down the Ling clan's elder with one move, and then he had drawn a dragon, causing the Xian clan's father and son to be in a sorry state. And now, the white tiger totem that was drawn not only injured Yu Yongyao to this extent, but it was also branded on Yu Yongyao's body, causing him to become so terrifying. "You, what did you do?" Yu Luanhui roared. "We were just sparring, and he was the one who asked me to attack him." "Isn't that reasonable? He is too weak. He can't block my runes and was devoured by them. You can't blame me for this." Qin Yun shook his head. "Then why don't you hurry up?" Yu Luanhui originally wanted Qin Yun to help him open those runes. But before he could finish, Yu Yongyao's body suddenly split apart and then split into several pieces. Yu Luanhui shouted angrily and quickly joined hands with the elders to retrieve Yu Yongyao's soul. "How cruel of you!" Yu Luanhui's eyes were full of cruelty, and the killer's intent in his eyes was extremely dense. "What are you trying to do?" Qin Yun said with sneer. "You want to take revenge for your trash of a son?" Qin Yun is purposely provoking Yu Luanhui to give him a chance to attack. Yu Yaoyao knew that Yu Luanhui had sent out Black Dragon assassins to capture Qin Yun twice. Now that Qin Yun knows about this, he will definitely not let Yu Luanhui go. "I will end your life." Yu Luanhui roared in fury and released a huge and sinister black door. This is his reincarnation gate. Yu Luanhui has mastered reincarnation heavenly law, and the reincarnation gate is a sky divine tool. Cultivation technique and sky divine tool can be used together to create an extremely strong power. Yu ancient clans people saw that Yu Luanhui couldn't help but make a move, but they didn't say anything. Originally, it was a competition between the younger generation, but now it is the older generation who made a move. It is really unexpected for it to develop like this. Is this Yu Luanhui's reincarnation gate? I heard that it can allow the soul to reincarnate and erase the soul's memory. Xianzhanquan said in a dignified voice. That's right. This is Yu Luanhui's reincarnation, heavenly law, and reincarnation gate. This is a peerless technique. It is also the reason why he has such a high position in Yu ancient clan. Ling family's elder said. Yu Yaoyao is anxious. She has never seen Yu Luanhui in such a terrifying state. It is clear that he is truly angry this time. She immediately sent a sound transmission to Qin Yun, telling him to leave immediately. Seeing that Qin Yun is ignoring her, she can only send a sound transmission to Ling Daixin, telling her to take Qin Yun away. Ling Daixin also pulled Qin Yun, wanted to take him away, but Qin Yun has no intention of leaving. Ling family's friend, take your Ling family's little girl away. Yu Luanhui saw that Ling Daixin is beside Qin Yun. He coldly said, "If you don't take her away, then I will take it that you won't pursue the matter of me taking her away. Daixin, quickly leave." Ling Taiyun suddenly pasted a talisman on Ling Daixin's body. Ling Daixin cannot move at all. Then she was taken away by Ling Taiyun. Xin Shazi and Chu Wuxing are also at the scene. They're also very anxious. They are worried that their boss will be killed because they are very clear about the reincarnation gate's power. This reincarnation gate is truly a good thing. I really want it. Qin Yun looked at the reincarnation gate. His desire to snatch it is becoming more and more intense. Seeing that Ling Daixin was taken away by Ling Taiyun, Yu Luanhui immediately activated the reincarnation gate and locked onto Qin Yun. This reincarnation gate is tens of meters tall, completely black. After opening the gate, the inside is pitch black. The black vortex in the center suddenly shot out a black light that enveloped Qin Yun's body. Reincarnation. Yu Luan Hui furiously roared. Both of his hands formed hand seals, and his mouth chanted an incantation. While chanting, his mouth spat out incantation after incantation. The incantation's voice is deep and powerful. It is filled with mysterious and ancient incantation, causing everyone present to be secretly afraid. Under Qin Yun's clothes is the Imperial Life Heavenly Talisman. He believes that this talisman can certainly block the reincarnation gate's attack. Open! Yu Luan Hui explosively roared. The reincarnation gate let out a roar. That black vortex crazily revolved. The surrounding space is distorted. It is very terrifying. Qin Yun has been locked onto by the reincarnation gate. The eye in the center of the vortex shot out a black light that illuminated Qin Yun's body, causing the space around him to distort. Qin Yun stood motionless in place. At first, he was a bit worried that he would be sucked in by the gate, but after he sensed the Imperial Life Heavenly Talisman releasing warm multicolored light, he relaxed a lot. The Imperial Life Heavenly Talisman is one of the lost 10 great heavenly talismans of ancient Yu clan. Maybe even Yu Luan Hui doesn't know how powerful this talisman is. Qin Yun said in his heart. He believes that the reason why the Imperial Life Heavenly Talisman was lost is because it was too difficult, causing later generations to be unable to learn and master it, so it gradually became lost. In other words, these lost heavenly talismans are much stronger than the ones that were not lost. Yu Luan Hui released the reincarnation gate and used the reincarnation heavenly law. The momentum is vast. The scene is very shocking. It truly broadened the horizons of all the big shots present. However, Qin Yun is still standing there. Even after a long time, he has not been sucked into the gate. Yu Luan Hui has already chanted the incantation several times, but it still did not work. The people of ancient Yu clan are the most shocked. They all know the power of the reincarnation gate very well, but now it has no effect. The power displayed by Dragon's Saint Master today made the people of ancient Yu clan feel like they are in a dream. The Imperial Life Heavenly Talisman that they thought was unbreakable has been broken, and Yu Luan Hui's strongest reincarnation heavenly law has no effect. Yu Luan Hui, is this all you can do? Qin Yun said with sneer. A half-baked old man like you still wants to capture me again and again. You really don't know life from death. Yu, seeing that Qin Yun is completely fine, Yu Luan Hui can't help but doubt his life. His reincarnation heavenly law that has never failed before is actually useless. While Yu Luan Hui is panicking, a black shadow flashed and appeared in front of Yu Luan Hui. Seeing that person, Yu Luan Hui is even more shocked. It is actually the 7 dragon head assassin that he is very familiar with. The people of ancient Yu clan are not unfamiliar with this 7 dragon head assassin, especially the 7 dragon head battle saber in his hand. This 7 dragon head assassin disappeared for a period of time. Now that he suddenly appeared, the people of ancient Yu clan jumped in fright. What they did not expect the most is that after this black dragon assassin appeared, he casually chopped down hundreds of times, very quickly and decisively chopped Yu Luan Hui's body into pieces. Yu Luan Hui's soul flew very fast. He wanted to escape, but Qin Yun released the Nether Moon mental power that he has been condensing for a long time. Ho! The Nether Moon mental power blew out like a divine moonstorm. It formed an incomparably fierce gale and blew Yu Luan Hui's soul into the reincarnation gate. The reincarnation gate never stopped operating, and Yu Luan Hui's soul was actually being reincarnated by his own reincarnation gate. Without a master, the reincarnation gate suddenly fell down. At this time, many big shots suddenly took action. All of them wanted to snatch the reincarnation gate. Ancient Yu clan people, other than Yu Yao Yao and a few other juniors, all of them took action at the same time. All of you scram! Qin Yun furiously shouted. The Black Dragon Assassin also crazily shouted. He released a heaven-covering killing intent and rushed towards the group of big shots. Boom! Qin Yun released an extremely strong supergravity that enveloped all the experts flying towards the reincarnation gate. And he used space, traversing step, and suddenly stood on top of the reincarnation gate. Qin Yun glanced at the people who were pressed down by the supergravity and coldly smiled. Then he activated the Nine-Sun Divine Spirit and stored the reincarnation gate. Hand over the reincarnation gate. The one who shouted is Xian Zhangquan. He is very angry because he was originally the fastest to rush over, but was pressed down by the supergravity. After they fought over the supergravity, they discovered that the reincarnation gate has been taken away by Qin Yun. The one who defeated Yulun Hui is me. The reincarnation gate belongs to me. Qin Yun said with smile. You want the reincarnation gate, right? He immediately controlled the Black Dragon assassin to rush over. As if he doesn't care about his life, he fiercely hacked at Xian Zhangquan. Chapter 2695. Although Xian Zhangquan is the father of war god Xian Huazhan, Xian Zhangquan's strength cannot compare to war god. The war gods of the Sun Yin divine race and Great Heaven divine race are all nurtured with great talent. The so-called geniuses of the various races are those with the same amount of resources. The strength of the geniuses is stronger, and the foundation and upper limit of the other geniuses are much lower than the geniuses. Therefore, they're given priority to nurture those geniuses. Seniors like Xian Zhangquan are indeed not weak, but they have only recently surpassed Shen Tianjun. They may not be able to defeat the Black Dragon assassin who does not care about his life. The Black Dragon assassin rushed over without any fancy moves. Is just a series of fierce slashes. The speed is very fast, and the power is very strong. Every time the blade slashed down, there would be a whistling sound as it tore through the air. The divine power splashed out from the blade, creating deep ravines in the ground. Seeing how terrifying the Black Dragon assassin is, Xian Zhangquan's scalp went numb. His son, Xian Huazhan, is holding his sword tightly. He is looking for an opportunity to attack. Xian Zhangquan has been targeted by the Black Dragon assassin. He wants to retreat, but the Black Dragon assassin is like a poisonous snake that is biting him and not letting go. The other big shots are watching quietly. They all know that the Dragon Saint Master, who can take down Yulun Hui, is not someone to be trifled with. Yu Yao Yao and Ling Daixin did not expect that the situation would develop like this. If they had known earlier, they would not have brought Qin Yun here. Of course, even if they did not bring Qin Yun here, Qin Yun would definitely be able to find Great Heaven War God Wei Shuangyan. The surrounding big shots are all looking forward to the battle between Xian Zhangquan and Xian Huazhan. They can see that even if Xian Zhangquan and his son can fight, they will definitely not be able to take down the other. At most, they will only be able to seriously injure the other. Xian Zhangquan used his mental power to secretly communicate with his son, telling him not to participate. He naturally knows what the big shots are thinking. They're just waiting for the fishermen to reap the benefits. Stop. I don't want to continue fighting with you. Xian Zhangquan is already unable to endure facing the Black Dragon assassin. If Xian Huazhan participates, the father and son duo will definitely be able to take down the Black Dragon assassin. And Qin Yun would definitely participate immediately. At that time, it would be hard to say. After all, they had all seen Qin Yun's terrifying inscription battle technique. It was you who started the fight. You want to stop the fight just because you say so? Qin Yun said with sneer. If you want to stop the fight, you are the loser. I can give you the Taiyin bloodline heavenly pattern. This bloodline heavenly pattern has existed since the birth of the Taiyin divine tribe. Xian Zhangquan shouted. There are many big shots from the Sun Yin divine tribe present, but none of them helped Xian Zhangquan. This meant that their relationship wasn't too good. When the elders of the Sun Moon divine tribe saw that Xian Zhangquan was about to give away the Sun Moon bloodline heavenly pattern, they shouted. Qin Yun was very surprised. The great Yin bloodline heavenly pattern was clearly not one of the 9 heavens bloodline heavenly patterns. It was a newly born one. The great sky divine race was even more surprised. They hadn't expected Xian Zhangquan to be so cowardly as to give away his bloodline heavenly pattern. Where are the bloodline heavenly runes? Qin Yun yelled. Huazhan, hand over the bloodline heavenly pattern and don't attack. Xian Zhanquan was being suppressed by Black Dragon Killer. Xian Huazhan was expressionless as he flew towards Qin Yun. He took out a glowing stone and handed it to Qin Yun. On the surface of the stone, there were many vein-like runes. It was indeed a bloodline heavenly pattern. Moreover, it was similar to the bloodline heavenly pattern egg. It was not in the shape of a box. Only the box-shaped one contained the 99 heavens bloodlines that Qin Yun wanted to collect. The egg was the inheritance of the box, so it could be considered as a box. Qin Yun took the great Yin bloodline heavenly pattern. He could clearly feel that this bloodline heavenly pattern was not as strong as the box-shaped one. It was as if it had just been formed. He suspected that Xian Zhanquan still had this kind of bloodline heavenly pattern. He immediately asked Black Dragon Killer to stop and return to his side. Although Xian Huazhan was very unwilling, he could only fly over and help his father heal. Xian Zhanquan's body was cut many times, and some parts of his body were badly mutilated. Even if his soul was immortal, his body was destroyed, and he had to rebuild it. Qin Yun coldly glanced at the big shots. He was not afraid at all. Although the big shots here were very strong, they could not join hands to besiege Qin Yun. Qin Yun understood them very well. Big shots like them were very concerned about their own benefits. They also knew that besieging Qin Yun was very risky. It was hard to say what they would get in return after taking such a big risk. From their point of view, this Dragon Saint Master obtained the Reincarnation Gate. But the Reincarnation Gate belonged to the Ancient Yu clan. Even if they obtained the Reincarnation Gate, the Ancient Yu clan would definitely be angry with them. Xian Zhanquan was also hot-headed just now. He thought that he could snatch the Reincarnation Gate, so he stubbornly rushed out. No one from the Ancient Yu clan made a move. Because none of the Ancient Yu clan people here had absolute confidence in taking down this mysterious Dragon Saint Master. Even if they did, they might not be able to take back the Reincarnation Gate. The Reincarnation Gate belonged to you, Luan Hui. Yu Yongyao's soul has been retrieved. In the future, when Yu Yongyao rebuilds his body, the Reincarnation Gate will also belong to him. If Yu Luan Hui's faction wasn't anxious, then it was useless for Yu Xingyu and the others to be anxious. Qin Yun stood in the middle of the square with a smile under his mask. His eyes were full of mockery as he surveyed the people around him. The Ling clan of the Great Sky God clan was silent. No one knew what they were thinking. Ling Taiyun stared at Ling Daixin, not allowing her to go over. The Ling clan's elders also had solemn expressions as they watched from afar. But the Wei clan was different. A few elders and middle-aged men seemed to be discussing something. After they secretly discussed using telepathy, Wei Shuangyan suddenly unsheathed his sword and shouted, "You're not going to make a move? Then don't say anything when we take down this person." As he spoke, he looked at the Ancient Yu clan. The Ancient Yu clan was silent because the Wei clan clearly wanted the Reincarnation Gate. By saying this, they were telling the Ancient Yu clan that if the Wei clan obtained it, the Ancient Yu clan should not say anything. The Ancient Yu clan was very clear about the strength of the 7 Dragon Head Assassins. This was also the reason why they didn't dare to make a move. Wei Shuangyan looked at Qin Yun and laughed coldly. Then he looked at Xian Huazhan and said with a voice full of disdain, "The war god of the great Yin divine race is only at this level." He admitted defeat without even fighting. Although Xian Huazhan was furious, he didn't make a sound. Wei Shuangyan held his sword and walked towards Qin Yun. He looked very casual and said with a sneer, "No matter where you come from, you will definitely be defeated by my sword today. I, Wei Shuangyan, am the strongest war god of the Great Sky God clan. Don't doubt my words." Wei Shuangyan, Great Sky War God. "Do you have a mission to capture Qin Yun?" Qin Yun asked. Wei Shuangyan frowned and said, "That's right. I will capture him and obtain his divine king heavenly seal. I will be the young divine king. Although my final strength is not as good as the great divine king, I will still be the second strongest person in divine desolate. You have the confidence to capture Qin Yun?" Does that mean that you are now the second strongest person in Divine Desolate? Qin Yun said with a smile. That's right. I, Wei Shuangyin, am indeed the second strongest person in Divine Desolate. Wei Shuangyin's voice is very loud, and he said very confidently, just you wait. I will definitely find Qin Yun within a year and fight with him. Qin Yun took off his mask and said with a smile, I am Qin Yun. You don't need to wait for a year. Seeing Qin Yun's face, everyone present sucked in a mouthful of cold air and looked at Qin Yun in a daze. Even Wei Shuangyin retreated a few steps in fright. The Qin Yun he's looking for is actually in the Great Sky Divine City. After everyone recovered from their shock, a burst of noise filled with shock came out. The Great Sky Divine City is the territory of the Great Sky and Great Yin Divine race. Yet Qin Yun single-handedly killed his way in and even caused a lot of trouble. This kind of courage caused everyone present to admire him. Furthermore, he could have continued to hide his identity. That way, everyone would only be staring at his reincarnation gate. Now that he has revealed his identity, it means that even more people will attack him, because the little divine king heavenly seal and the two bloodline heavenly pattern boxes are filled with great attraction. Ling Taiyun looked at Ling Daixin. Ling Daixin repeatedly shook her head, indicating that she did not know about this matter. Yu Xingyu looked at Yu Yaoyao. He knows that his daughter has a good relationship with Qin Yun, so he suspects that Yu Yaoyao already knew about this matter. Yu Yaoyao also repeatedly shook her head. Yu Xingyu does not believe that Yu Yaoyao brought Qin Yun in because it is rather difficult. Furthermore, he has always been with Yu Yaoyao. Qin Yun took out the Myriad Heaven Divine Saber and Divine King Spear. He calmly looked at Wei Shuangyin and said, Even I don't dare to say that I am the second strongest in Divine Desolate, and I also don't believe that the Great Divine King is the strongest in Divine Desolate. How big is Divine Desolate? You, what do you know? We come from the Nine Suns Sacred Ground. Nine Suns Sacred Ground is at the center of Divine Desolate. Nine Suns Sacred Ground was born at the same time as Divine Desolate, but many years have passed inside, far surpassing other regions of Divine Desolate. Wei Shuangyin knew that the person in front of him is Qin Yun. He also became very cautious. You are wrong. Divine Desolate has no center. Nine Suns Sacred Ground is just a sacred ground. Divine Desolate is still expanding. More spaces and living beings will appear. Wait until all the 9 Sun Divine Suns appear. Then you can see if the strongest person is the Divine King. Divine King. Qin Yun pointed the Divine King Spear at Wei Shuangyin. He came all the way here to find this great heaven war god and test the power of the Dragon Peach Seed. Nonsense. 9 Suns Sacred Ground is the center, and our great heaven divine race is the strongest in 9 Suns Sacred Ground. Wei Shuangyin angrily shouted, pointed his sword at Qin Yun, and rushed forward. Wei Shuangyin's steps are very exquisite and extremely fast. However, no matter how fast he is, he can't be faster than Qin Yun's spear. Qin Yun pulled the trigger and fired a peach core seed. Chapter 2696. When Qin Yun saw the crystal seed enter Wei Shuangyin's body, he quickly used Void Step to avoid Wei Shuangyin's sword. He immediately transferred the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern Box from the Divine King Spear to the Myriad Heaven Divine Saber and poured his divine power into it. If the crystal seed doesn't have much power, he can immediately use the Myriad Heaven Divine Saber to counterattack. He has just obtained the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern of the Great Yin Divine race, so he guessed that the Great Heaven Divine race might also have Bloodline Heavenly Patterns. If Wei Shuangyin was nurtured as a war god, he would be exposed to Bloodline Heavenly Patterns. Only Bloodline Heavenly Patterns can restrain Bloodline Heavenly Patterns. Qin Yun had also used this method to cut open the Dragon Peach. Wei Shuangyin naturally knew that something has entered his abdomen, which made him even more furious. He sensed that the thing in his abdomen did not have any reaction, so he didn't take it seriously and continued to fiercely chase Qin Yun. Wei Shuangyin's attacks are very ruthless. His sword moves are very berserk. Whenever he attacks, people can feel the roar of a bloody storm. The murderous aura contained within the sword wind made one smell the stench of blood and a brutal aura. Qin Yun did not fight directly. He is also somewhat anxious because the crystal seed has not reacted after entering Wei Shuangyin's body, and Wei Shuangyin has already attacked more than 100 times. "You coward, don't run," Wei Shuangyin angrily rebuked. Qin Yun immediately controlled the Black Dragon Killer to fly over and temporarily delay Wei Shuangyin. If it is not necessary, he doesn't want to attack. If he can't hold back and kill Wei Shuangyin, then he won't know the power of the crystal seed. Could it be that the crystal seed does not have enough explosive power? Or could it be that it's not dangerous? After Qin Yun sent the Black Dragon Killer over, in just over 10 moves, the Black Dragon Killer was stabbed 3 times. The Black Dragon Killer is far inferior to Wei Shuangyin in all aspects. If this continues, he will be destroyed by Wei Shuangyin in less than 100 moves. Guanxin Zhanquan can now see the gap between him and Wei Shuangyin. He is a senior, and he was beaten miserably by the Black Dragon Killer. The Black Dragon Killer is quickly suppressed by Wei Shuangyin. Qin Yun had a general understanding of Wei Shuangyin's strength. From the looks of it, he was far stronger than the 7 Dragonhead Assassins. Even if the 8 Dragonhead Assassins came, they would definitely not be his match. Only with the help of the 9 Dragonhead Assassins, it was possible for them to fight evenly with Wei Shuangyin. This guy is quite strong. No wonder he dares to be so arrogant, saying that he is the 2nd strongest person in Divine Wasteland. Qin Yun snickered in his heart. He believed that the 2 tribe emperors of the Great Sky God Tribe and the Great Yin God Tribe were not any weaker than Wei Shuangyin. Not to mention the Ancient Yu Clan and the hidden big shots of the Heaven-Splitting Ancient Clan. Qin Yun had been paying attention to his surroundings. He did not discover anyone from the Heaven-Splitting Ancient Clan, or rather, he did not sense them. He had always been wary of this group of people. The reason why Qin Yun had exposed his identity in such a high-profile manner was to see if the Heaven-Splitting Ancient Clan would do anything to him. The Heaven-Splitting Ancient Clan was also very arrogant. Otherwise, they would not have fought with the Monkey King and Long Shu previously. Qin Yun secretly guessed that the Heaven-Splitting Ancient Clan would definitely wait for Wei Shuangyin to finish fighting him before taking any further action. By the God King Heaven Seal and the 2 Bloodline Heavenly Pattern boxes were enough for them to fight over. The Black Dragon Killer was Qin Yun's puppet. Even if he was killed, he would not feel any pain, so he let the Black Dragon Killer continue to entangle Wei Shuangyin. The people of the Ancient Yu Clan found it very strange because the Black Dragon Killer seemed to have no emotions. Even though he was seriously injured, he did not feel any pain and continued to fight crazily. And, moreover, they all wanted to know why the Black Dragon Assassin listened to Qin Yun's orders. Previously, when Qin Yun and Yu Luanhui were fighting, he told Yu Luanhui that he had sent out the Black Dragon Killer several times. This was something that many people of the Ancient Yu Clan did not know. Now they finally understood what was going on. Thinking after understanding, Yu Xingyu and the others' expressions became even more solemn. 2 waves of Black Dragon Killer had not been able to capture Qin Yun, and now Yu Luanhui had been killed. If this continued, the conflict between the Ancient Yu Clan and Qin Yun would only worsen. After seeing Qin Yun's strength with their own eyes, the people of the Ancient Yu Clan did not want to be enemies with him. The Black Dragon Killer is already riddled with wounds. His body has been stabbed dozens of times. It must be said that this 7 Dragonhead Killer is very strong. His body is very strong. After being stabbed dozens of times, not only did he not fall down, his body did not show any signs of weakening. Qin Yun has been opening his heavenly eye and staring at Wei Shuangyin's abdomen. He suddenly saw that Wei Shuangyin's abdomen is flickering with red light. There is finally a reaction. Qin Yun was secretly happy. It seems like the crystal seed needs a certain amount of time to germinate. After all, it is a seed. Wei Shuangyin suddenly let out a miserable scream. His abdomen suddenly swelled up. Bang! Wei Wei Shuangyin's abdomen suddenly burst open and blood spurted out. Only an ant head as big as a watermelon came out from Wei Shuangyin's abdomen. Qin Yun's eyes twitched. He thought of many possibilities, but he never thought that such a huge golden ant would come out. Lethe found it strange that he only saw the crystal seed have a reaction, and the next moment he turned into an ant. This speed is too fast. The people of the Wei clan did not care too much and immediately rushed over. Crowd people are also stunned by this terrifying scene. Wei Shuangyin was fighting and fighting. How did such a huge golden ant come out from his abdomen? They all remembered what Qin Yun had injected into Wei Shuangyin's abdomen. However, after that, they also remembered that Qin Yun once tricked the people of the Sun En divine race to drink the Heaven's Fate Dragon Lake's water and gave birth to those little monsters. Everyone immediately shivered and felt some fear. They are all worried that Qin Yun would give birth to all kinds of strange things in their abdomen. "It's a dragon ant," someone shouted. Drill the body of the golden dragon ant that came out trembled, and all the blood on its body disappeared. This dragon ant is as big as a 1-year-old baby. Its whole body is covered with dragon scales. Even its body looks like a dragon's body. It also has a dragon tail. Those ant limbs are also washed dragon claws. It seems that there's a lot of dragon blood on its body. The dragon ant has a huge ant head and a pair of small dragon horns on its head. Way after the Wei clan people jumped in fright, they all took action to capture the dragon ant. However, the dragon ant quickly drilled into the ground. Just like that, when everyone thought that the dragon ant had escaped, they suddenly discovered that the dragon ant's 2 big teeth clamped onto the Wei clan old man's leg and broke it. Everyone cried out in alarm. At the same time, their eyes lit up because that dragon ant's whole body is definitely a treasure. Those 2 big teeth are the best materials for refining tools. Qin Yun is very depressed. Why is there a dragon ant inside the crystal seed? He previously thought that it might be a dragon peach tree. "Qin Yun, what despicable method did you use?" An old man from the Wei clan angrily rebuked. "That is only my weapon. How can there be any despicable method?" Qin Yun took out the divine king spear and said with sneer, "You better not provoke me. Otherwise I will let you give birth to dragon ants or some other messy things." Wei clan people immediately moved away in panic, and the surrounding people also soared into the sky and distanced themselves from Qin Yun. They also took out defensive tools to block in front of them. They are very afraid of the thing in Qin Yun's hand. Whoever it hits will become pregnant. In their eyes, it is simply a devil tool from hell. Wei Shuangyin is a great heaven war god. Moreover, he is so strong and has such high status. He must be wearing all kinds of body-protecting divine equipment, but his body was still pierced. Therefore, no one present is confident that they can block the crystal seed shot out by Qin Yun's divine king spear. Although the crystal seed's power is different from Qin Yun's imagination, the effect made Qin Yun very satisfied. At least it can scare these people so much that they don't dare to attack. Bai Hu would have thought that a scary thing would suddenly drill out of their stomach. Way after Shuangyin's stomach was pierced, his vitality was greatly injured. Many of his internal organs were destroyed by the dragon ant. Qin Yun also found it strange. The dragon ant only devoured Wei Shuangyin's divine power and did not eat his flesh. Could it be that the dragon ant is also a vegetarian? Qin Yun thought in his heart. Or could it be that the dragon ant thinks that Wei Shuangyin is not delicious? Wei Shuangyin's vitality is greatly injured. He will not be able to recover in a short period of time. And when he recovers, it will be a period of time later. At that time, Qin Yun will not be afraid of him. "It's very late now. Everyone, please go back. We will gather again another day. I am very happy about tonight's banquet. I believe everyone is the same as me. I am truly looking forward to the next gathering." Qin Yun suddenly cupped his hands towards everyone and said with a clear and bright smile. Everyone cursed in their hearts. They have never met such a shameless guy before, because there are not many people who are happy in this banquet. Perhaps only Qin Yun is happy. Furthermore, Qin Yun made it sound like this banquet was specially prepared for him. And he even said that they will gather again next time. Are you planning to leave just like that? An old man from Ling family suddenly said in cold voice. Then how do you want me to leave? Qin Yun said with smile. At least take Ling Daixin away. Tonight's matter will definitely spread out, and she won't be able to get married. You have to take responsibility. The old man from Ling family said with stern expression. Everyone is somewhat dumbfounded. This Ling family's elder actually wants to give the daughter of the clan emperor to a great devil like Qin Yun. She and I only met by chance. Qin Yun said with smile. Shut up, you fucked her. You have to take responsibility for her. Ling Taiyun also shouted. However, he can see that Ling family's elder's intention is to give Ling Daixin to Qin Yun. This way, they will be able to know more about Qin Yun through Ling Daixin in the future. Ling Daixin bit her lower lip and lowered her head. Her cheeks are slightly red. Ling Taiyun grabbed Ling Daixin's hand and wanted to throw her at Qin Yun. However, at this moment, the earth suddenly split open. Qin Yun suddenly recalled that there is a huge crystal under the great heaven divine city, as well as a large amount of heavenly fate dragon lake's water. If that dragon ant goes in, maybe it will mutate. Chapter 2697. Qin Yun flew into the sky and immediately flew towards a certain direction. The earth is still shaking violently. Everyone is already floating in the air. Such a big movement underground made the people of the great Heaven Divine race very worried. The reason why they chose to build the great Heaven Divine city here is because they discovered that there's a secret hidden under this area that no one else has discovered. That is, there is the water of the heavenly fate dragon lake in a huge and strange crystal. When Qin Yun came in from outside, he drilled into the ground, so he was able to discover the huge crystal. He thought about how the dragon ant drilled into the ground and most likely evolved because of the crystal and the lake water. This gave him a bad premonition. Xiao Yun, do you think the movement below is caused by the dragon ant? Ling Yuner asked. I don't know yet, but it should have a lot to do with the dragon ant, right? Qin Yun wants to fly out of the great heaven divine city's barrier. After he reached the edge, he was blocked by the barrier, unable to run out. Now, he can only wait at the edge. If the underground of the great heaven divine city is destroyed, then the barrier here will definitely fail and he will be able to go out. Even if the dragon ant drank the water of the heavenly fate dragon lake, it can't evolve that fast, right? Could it be that the dragon ant is laying eggs? Ling Yun said in shock. If the dragon ant is an ant queen and drinks the lake water to quickly evolve, then it will definitely lay eggs crazily. After becoming an ant queen, her body will become very big and she will lay eggs almost all the time. She can quickly create an ant empire. And this dragon ant drank the water of the heavenly fate dragon lake in the heavenly fate holy land, so there is no need to talk about it. Qin Yun thought that if there are a lot of these dragon ants, then they will definitely be controlled by the heavenly dragon race. At that time, the strength of the dragon race will definitely become even stronger. This dragon ant army might even become the main fighting force of the dragon race. Xian Shazi immediately used the magic mirror to contact Qin Yun and asked, Boss, what's going on with that dragon ant? Did it explode after drilling into the ground? The earth is still shaking. Qin Yun also doesn't know what is happening below. He is using his heavenly eye to observe. The people floating in the sky are all looking at the ground below. They are not afraid that there will be strong things below. After all, they have a large group of experts on their side. That dragon ant is the crystal seed inside the dragon peach. I don't know why it formed into a dragon ant. Qin Yun said, in the depths of the great heaven divine city, there's a large amount of heavenly fate dragon lake water, as well as a large piece of crystal. When Xian Sha heard Qin Yun's words, he immediately thought of something and became flustered. He said, that dragon peach's core is very hard. We were unable to open it. How did you do it? Use your bloodline heavenly patterns. I advise you not to act recklessly. If you accidentally break the crystal seed, it will be very dangerous. Qin Yun warned Xian Shazi. Imperial demon Yao also contacted Qin Yun and inquired about the situation below. Qin Yun only told her that a very large dragon ant nest might appear and told her to be prepared. The ground below suddenly caved in, followed by a powerful golden glow. The golden light penetrated the sunken ground, causing the entire land to shine with a golden radiance. After the ground collapsed, it gradually turned into a large quagmire. The mud was golden and emitted golden light. Qin Yun guessed that this is the water of the heavenly fate dragon lake. After the dragon ants secreted some liquid, it changed and then melted the loose mud. Not long after, the newly constructed Great Heaven Divine City sank into a golden quagmire, and those huge formation pillars have been hastily stored away by the inscription masters of the Great Heaven Divine race. The Great Heaven Divine City is gone. This is a good thing for Qin Yun. It was unknown who had transmitted this scene to the demonic mirror. Furthermore, it had also mentioned that Qin Yun had appeared here. The matter of the heavenly fate Holy Land spread very quickly. Now, everyone in the Divine Desolate, as long as they have a devil mirror, is very concerned about the situation here. They are all waiting for the strongest dragon race to appear. So many things happened before the dragon race appeared. This is something that many people did not expect. Especially Qin Yun, who caused so many big things not long ago, has appeared again. Moreover, the matter of the Great Heaven Divine City was caused by Qin Yun. Yuluan Hui was killed by Qin Yun, and the Reincarnation Gate was obtained by Qin Yun. Xian Zhanquan of the Great Yin Divine Race gave the Great Yin Bloodline Heavenly Rune to Qin Yun so that Qin Yun would let him go. The most shocking thing is that the Black Dragon Assassin of the Ancient Yu clan actually obeyed Qin Yun. The Great Heaven Divine Race's powerful Great Heaven Battle God, Wei Shuangyin, even gave birth to a dragon ant because of Qin Yun. These things have spread on the Devil Mirror and caused a huge uproar. The dragon ant has changed under the Great Heaven Divine City and caused a huge commotion. This matter is also caused by Qin Yun. Qin Yun received many messages from his friends, all of them teasing him for making someone pregnant again. This made him not know whether to laugh or cry. The ground below has turned into a golden quagmire. After a while, a wave of hot air suddenly surged up. That wave of hot air contains a very strong dragon power. Qin Yun can now see many moving shadows under the quagmire through his heavenly eye. It is a large number of dragon ants. A large number of dragon ants have appeared, Qin Yun said in shock. Some of them are not small. Following the appearance of the hot air, the golden mud in the quagmire gradually dried up and became very firm. The Great Heaven Divine City has finally calmed down. However, they still don't dare to land. One had to know that the leg of an elder from the Wei clan had been broken by the dragon ant's teeth. They all guess that there must be a large number of dragon ants below, but they don't know how strong they are, so they don't dare to go down and probe. Are these guys really from the Nine-Sun Holy Land? They don't dare to go down. Qin Yun secretly despised them. Previously, they said that their Nine-Sun Holy Land was the center of Divine Desolate, the strongest region in Divine Desolate. But now, none of the big shots of the Great Heaven Divine Race and the Great Yin Divine Race dare to land. Through his heavenly eye, Qin Yun can see that many dragon ants are busily working. They have already formed an ant nest and are rapidly spreading into the depths. Don't tell me these dragon ants only rely on the Heaven Fate Dragon Lake's water to survive. Qin Yun didn't see any dragon ants coming out to look for food. Instead, they're doing all kinds of construction. Ling Yun said, Xiao Yun, the Dragon Peach's crystal seed was formed through Bloodline Heavenly Rune and then activated by another Bloodline Heavenly Rune. This means that before the dragon ants were born, they had come in contact with two Bloodline Heavenly Runes. That's right. These dragon ants might have the characteristics of that Bloodline Heavenly Rune. Qin Yun looked at the myriad Heaven Divine Saber in his hand. This Divine Saber has fused with the mysterious Bloodline Heavenly Rune box, the first one he obtained. The birth of a Nine-Sun royal family is because of this Bloodline Heavenly Rune box, which originally belonged to Siekaru. At this moment, someone tossed a huge ox beast into the water. Boom! The ox beast landed on the golden mud and created a loud explosion. Suddenly, a flame shot out from the ground. Soon after, dragon ants covered in flames crawled out one after another. These dragon ants are a lot bigger than the previous one. They are as big as a calf. After these dragon ants ran out, they immediately broke down the ox beast that is as big as a house into many small pieces. Even the ox beast's stiff bones were bitten to pieces and then moved into the ground by the dragon ants. All of this happened very quickly. Seeing these dragon ants, the people floating in the sky felt their scalp go numb. If they fell down, their bodies would definitely be bitten to pieces. These dragon ants also eat meat. Qin Yun inhaled a mouthful of air. This group of dragon ants is actually fire attribute. Not long ago, there was a lot of lake water under the ground. Now it has turned into a nest of fire dragon ants. Qin Yun sent the scene he saw to Long Shu, but Long Shu did not respond immediately. He is also unable to contact Long Shu. He suspects that Long Shu must have entered the heavens' Fate Dragon Lake. Are these fire dragon ants considered dragon race? Qin Yun is still unable to determine whether the crystal seeds inside the peach pit are dragon ants or not. He wants to find a place to try again. He feels that each crystal seed will give birth to different creatures. Just as he was about to leave, more than 10 people suddenly flew over and surrounded him. Qin Yun saw these people in the magic mirror before. They're the group of heaven-splitting ancient clan people who cut off the Dragon Peach divine tree. They were even draped in bronze-colored robes that looked old, but also had a very ancient feel to them. Qin Yun has always been on guard against these heaven-splitting ancient clan people. Seeing them suddenly appear, he is not surprised at all. Reincarnation Gate, Divine King Heavenly Seal, Bloodline, Heavenly Rune. You just need to hand over these things. We don't want the other things on you. The middle-aged man who spoke said in a steady and powerful voice. The Sunny Divine Clan, Great Heavenly Divine Clan, and Ancient Yu Clan also suddenly noticed Qin Yun. That guy is being targeted by the heaven-splitting Ancient Clan. Ling Taiyun said in a low voice, "This is troublesome. With his strength alone, I am afraid he can't escape." Qin Yun is surrounded by more than 10 experts of the heaven-splitting ancient clan. The pressure is indeed very great, but he can still maintain his calm. "I want to know your origins so that I can ask you for things in the future," Qin Yun said with a sneer. "You are all from the heaven-splitting ancient clan. I am from the ancient Qin clan, they are from the ancient Dragon clan, and the ancient Shao clan. Although your surname is Qin, you have nothing to do with the ancient Qin clan. However, if you obediently hand over the things in your hands, we are willing to accept you." The old man laughed sinisterly. Just as Qin Yun was about to use the void-crossing step, the surrounding space suddenly fluctuated and was completely sealed. Chapter 2698. More than 10 powerful divine power suddenly concentrated and bombarded Qin Yun's body. The sky around him flickered with multicolored light waves, and then formed a huge mushroom cloud. The berserk divine power transformed into a gale and lightning that covered a large area. It is a spectacular scene from far away. The big shots from far away sense the strength of the heaven-opening ancient clan's experts. While they are apprehensive, they also secretly sighed that Qin Yun is finally finished. The Great Heaven God Race and the Sun Yin God Race are very familiar with the heaven-opening ancient clan strength. They were also the ones who destroyed the Dragon Peach divine tree. Moreover, they fought evenly with the Monkey Dragon Race and the Tree Dragon Race. Even if other factions joined in later, the heaven-opening ancient clan was not weak at all. Although the Monkey Dragon Race and the Tree Dragon Race are furious that the Dragon Peach divine tree has been destroyed, they can only let it go for now. All the bigwigs present agreed that even if Qin Yun didn't die from the simultaneous attacks of over a dozen heaven-splitting ancient clan experts, he would definitely shed a layer of skin. Xian Sha Zi, Chu Wuxing, Yu Yao Yao, and Ling Daixin are all very worried. Even Ling Taiyun and the Ling family's elders are worried that Qin Yun will be killed. For the Ling family, if Ling Daixin and Qin Yun can be together, it will greatly benefit them. If Qin Yun is captured by the heaven-opening ancient clan, it will be a great loss to the Ling family. The space around Qin Yun has been sealed by a powerful barrier. It can be seen that the inscription saint of the heaven-opening ancient clan has taken action. That is why they can't see the hidden runes. After the heaven-opening ancient clan's people launched a round of attacks, they immediately hid far away and waited for the aftermath to subside. They believe that Qin Yun won't be killed. At most, he will be seriously injured. If Qin Yun still has the strength to fight, they will attack again. If they kill Qin Yun, they won't be able to obtain anything. Capturing the seriously injured Qin Yun alive is the most ideal result. The Berserk Divine Power wave gradually dissipated. Everyone immediately opened their eyes wide and looked over to see how Qin Yun is doing. What surprised them is that Qin Yun is completely fine. The luxurious white inscription master robe on his body does not have the slightest trace of damage. Qin Yun was safe and sound. He floated there with a cold expression. His cold eyes revealed an aura that no one dared to look at. Although he was very calm, he made people feel that he was incomparably terrifying. The main reason he was fine was because he had a divine fate talisman with him. He really didn't expect the talisman to be so terrifying that it could actually block this wave of attacks. This is impossible. This fellow, what did he do just now? With his current strength, it's impossible for him to block our attacks. Should we attack again? The experts of the heaven-splitting ancient clan were all shocked. They could not believe that Qin Yun was unharmed. Qin Yun secretly looked at the Imperial Life heavenly talisman he wore and discovered that the energy within it was weakening. If this continued, it would not be able to withstand many attacks. He quickly took out the Imperial Heavenly Talisman that he had obtained earlier. The Imperial Heavenly Talisman was also a type of defensive talisman. It could transfer the power of an attack to someone else. Qin Yun reached deep into his clothes and grabbed the Imperial Transfer Heavenly Talisman. He immediately established a connection with it. This Imperial Transfer Heavenly Talisman requires him to activate it and lock onto it. He looked at the 3 strongest heaven-splitting ancient clan elders. This is equivalent to locking onto them. If Qin Yun was attacked, the Imperial Transfer Heavenly Talisman could transform the power received into another kind of divine power that would then land on the 3 elders. He already sees you Luan Hui's reincarnation gate. Even if it was revealed that he had the Imperial Transfer Heavenly Talisman, it would not matter. The dozen or so heaven-splitting ancient clan elders attacked again. Moreover, this time they are even stronger than before. Previously, they were worried that they would kill Qin Yun, so they held back. They saw that Qin Yun was not injured after being besieged by them, so they increased their divine power and launched even more powerful and ferocious attacks. The dozen or so powerful heaven-splitting ancient clan elders shot out many large balls of light. After they shot out the balls of light, their auras weakened a lot. It is clear that they used a lot of divine power. Qin Yun still did not move. The space around him has already been locked. This is a very high-level inscription battle technique. Moreover, it is formed using spatial-type runes. Many powerful divine power once again bombarded the space where Qin Yun is. This is the result of the heaven-splitting ancient clan experts using their heavenly law divine abilities to transform their divine power into even stronger attacks. The heaven and earth once again exploded with a loud sound. This time's attack set off a surging energy wave. Even the distant heaven's mandate dragon lake has become turbulent because of this. The entire heaven's mandate sacred land has entered a state of violent trembling. The spectating experts are now enveloped by the powerful energy wave. This time's attack is like a small sun exploding. Even people far away can feel the earth trembling. It can be said to be world-shaking. It is now nighttime. The myriad heaven's divine moon is still firmly hanging in the sky. However, everyone is now submerged by the powerful energy wave and can't see the beautiful and huge myriad heaven's divine moon. What caused people to be alarmed is that at the same time, people with good hearing can hear the miserable screams of the three elders. They all believe that Qin Yun launched a counterattack just now. This caused them to feel even more inconceivable, because Qin Yun clearly suffered such a fierce siege. Not only did he not defend, he was actually able to counterattack. Qin Yun also never expected that the commotion would be so great that no one knew that he had used the Imperial Heavenly Talisman. These guys are really strong. If I didn't have the Imperial Heavenly Talisman and the Life Imperial Heavenly Talisman, I would definitely be heavily injured this time. Qin Yun also realized that the Imperial Heavenly Talisman could only transfer half of the attack power. The remaining half was blocked by the Life Imperial Heavenly Talisman. In other words, the defensive power of the Imperial Heavenly Talisman is far inferior to the Life Imperial Heavenly Talisman. Furthermore, the energy within the Imperial Heavenly Talisman has been almost completely consumed. It is now completely dim and needs to be replenished. The Life Imperial Heavenly Talisman still has energy, but not much. Qin Yun finally understood why the Life Imperial Heavenly Talisman was lost. It is because it is extremely difficult to create. The powerful light and mist that erupted from the attacks of the dozen heaven-splitting ancient race experts left as quickly as it came. Qin Yun is still calmly floating in the sky. As for the dozen heaven-splitting ancient race elders floating in the distance, all of them have ugly expressions. 3 of them are bleeding from head to toe, and their bodies are riddled with wounds. Among the 3 injured elders, one of them still had an arm. His arm looks like it has been shattered, because the place where his arm was severed is a ghastly sight to behold. What happened just now? This is the doubt in the hearts of the big shots, watching from afar. Even the 3 heavily injured elders don't know what happened. They only know that they were suddenly attacked by a very powerful divine power. If it were not for their defensive divine tools being strong enough, they would have been even more heavily injured and their bodies might have been destroyed. Qin Yun is already holding the God King's spear in his hand. He shot at the 3 injured elders once and shot out 3 peach core crystal seeds. When the 3 peach core crystal seeds were shot out, Qin Yun used space crossing power and pierced through space. After Qin Yun suffered such a crazy attack earlier, the runes sealing the space around him also dispersed. Now he is not afraid of the heaven-splitting ancient race people. The 3 peach seeds he shot out all accurately hit the 3 injured old men and penetrated into their bodies. The 3 elders sensed something entering their bodies, and their expressions became even more unsightly, because they saw Qin Yun and Wei Shuangyin's battle earlier. "That bastard put something in our bodies. Quickly come and help us take it out," an elder promptly shouted. The other heaven-splitting ancient race people immediately surrounded them. Under the 3 elders' request, the others took out sharp blades and cut open the elder's skin and quickly dug out the crystal seeds. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and looked from afar. He is shocked to discover that the crystal seeds dug out by those people have turned into a ball of energy mist. Moreover, it is the size of a fist. 3 things have been dug out and held in their hands to observe. The heaven-splitting ancient race people are also very curious because Qin Yun used this method to make a dragon ant appear in Wei Shuangyin's stomach. Just as they are holding them in their hands, curiously, the 3 things suddenly moved. Then they tore apart their palms and entered their arms. Everyone can see something wriggling under their arms, from their wrists to their shoulders, then to their necks, and finally to their heads. Soon after, the 3 people held their heads and screamed in pain. Seeing this scene, Wei Shuangyin, who has just recovered from his injuries, felt a burst of fear in his heart. He can't help but shiver. If a dragon ant bursts out of his head, he doesn't dare to imagine the scene. Everyone present scratched their numb scalps in fear. They all thought that a few large dragon ants might come out of the 3 heaven-splitting ancient race people's heads. Qin Yun was also alarmed when he saw this. Although he was the one who shot out the crystal seed he shot out this time was very different from the last time. Last time, the crystal seed very cleverly parasitized Wei Shuangyin's abdomen. But this time, the The crystal seed can actually run into someone else's head by itself. Qin Yun, what the hell is that thing? A heaven-splitting ancient race, middle-aged man roared. I don't know. I got it from the heavenly fate dragon lake. I call it children-grandchildren. Whoever gets hit by it will have children and grandchildren. Qin Yun spread his hands and said, I didn't expect this thing to run into my head. I didn't want to waste this thing. Because this thing has great research value, you forced me to do it. Everyone secretly nodded. Qin Yun originally wanted to run away, but in the end, he was stopped by the heaven-splitting ancient race people. Then, more than 10 of them surrounded and attacked Qin Yun. Chapter 2699. Everyone is the same as Qin Yun. They're looking forward to seeing what will happen to the 3 heaven-opening ancient clan elders. The heaven-opening ancient clan is very strong, so the other races want to see them make a fool of themselves, especially the Sun En Divine race and Great Heaven Divine race who just suffered a great loss. Although the 3 heaven-opening ancient clan elders are holding their heads and screaming, their abdomens are swelling up. This is the most shocking thing. Not to mention the headaches of the 3 elders. Their abdomens have also become bigger. This means that some small monster is being nurtured in their abdomens. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and can only see a ball of energy in their abdomens. This time is very different from the time Wei Shuangyan had. Wei Shuangyan is gnashing his teeth. He was also played like this by Qin Yun before. He recalled the time when a dragon ant drilled out of his abdomen and can't help but feel fear. This kind of experience has left him with a great psychological shadow. Quickly give up your body, the heaven-opening ancient clan elder hastily shouted. This old man was quite brilliant. He could tell that the souls of the 3 old men who had been struck by the crystal seed were being devoured. At this moment, the other heaven-opening ancient clan members don't dare to approach. They're worried that something will jump onto them and drill into their bodies. All of a sudden, the 3 old men who had been struck by the crystal seed gave up their fleshly bodies and let their souls fly out. Although their bodies don't have souls, they're still floating in the air. The elder who shouted just now attacked with his palm. Formidable flame divine power condensed into a ball of fire that enveloped the bodies of the 3 old men. Ho! The ball of fire exploded and formed a violent flame that enveloped the bodies of the 3 old men. The elder wanted to destroy the thing that was about to escape. However, he underestimated the power of the crystal seed. Even Qin Yun did not expect that the crystal seed would be able to release its own divine power to protect the 3 bodies from being burned. Qin Yun said in alarm, those 3 bodies should be the parasitic bodies of the crystal seed. They might even be its food. This crystal seed shouldn't be a dragon ant. What is it? Xiao Yun. After the crystal seed is activated, it should be able to become a kind of half-dragon creature. And what kind of half-dragon creature is decided by? Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun shook his head. I don't know. It might be because of the God King Spear's bloodline heavenly pattern box. This bloodline heavenly pattern box belongs to Sister Kiru, the one that gave birth to the 9 sons royal race. How could there be so many beasts? Ling Yuner wondered. Maybe the power inside the bloodline heavenly rune box is the source of all kinds of living beings. Qin Yun said. Amidst the flames, the bodies of the 3 old men were gradually swallowed up and turned into 3 balls of white light. The 3 balls of white light vibrated slightly and then slowly cracked. The thing inside was coming out. The surrounding flames were also devoured and absorbed by the 3 white balls of light. Qin Yun, who had his heaven eye open the whole time, saw something that looked like an insect curled up inside the 3 objects. It's wasp. Qin Yun roughly recognized them from their silhouettes and said in low voice, all 3 of them are bees. They should be dragon bees. Their bodies have more than half dragon blood. He could see that the bees were covered in dragon scales and had dragon heads. Bees and ants are very similar. Ling Yun said, they live in a nest and their reproduction speed is very fast. After the 3 white light balls exploded, sure enough, 3 white dragon bees appeared. Their body size is rather large. They look like a cow, and their whole body is white. Seeing these 3 dragon bees, people in the distance let out a burst of cry of alarm. Many people are secretly afraid. The dragon ants from before can't fly. They drilled into the ground as soon as they came out. And these 3 dragon bees can fly. Their body size is also larger than the dragon ants. They look even stronger. After the dragon bees came out, they immediately flew towards the heaven-opening ancient race people. Their speed is as fast as lightning, and they rushed over in a flash. The heaven-opening ancient race people are not to be trifled with. They immediately used all kind of divine tools to block and sent the 3 dragon bees flying. The 3 dragon bees are very fierce. They unceasingly crazily attacked and let out a burst of dreadful hoarse cries. Their sharp stingers are the most dreadful. After they are shot out, they have very strong penetrating power. Moreover, after the stingers fly out, they can return to their bodies according to their control. The heaven-opening ancient race people are all very careful. If they were to be stabbed by a needle, it would be very fatal. The stingers of the dragon bees are transparent. One can see the venom flowing inside the stingers. If the body was injected with such venom, the consequences can be imagined. There are 7 heaven-opening ancient race people. They are still very strong. Now that they're only facing 3 dragon bees, the pressure is not that great. Moreover, they still have a few heavy attacks on the dragon bees. The battle lasted for a moment. The 3 dragon bees know that they are not a match for them, so they flew towards the heavenly fate dragon lake. Their speed is very fast, and they disappeared in a short while. When everyone saw the 3 dragon bees suddenly fly away, they immediately defended. They are worried that the dragon bees will suddenly return and attack them. The 3 dragon bees can be said to be very strong, but they are not weak either. Furthermore, there are only 3 of them now. If there's a nest of them in the future, just thinking about it is terrifying. They know that below the ground, there's a nest of dragon ants. Moreover, their numbers are constantly expanding. Qin Yun, you caused us to suffer such great losses. We will not let you off, an old man angrily said to Qin Yun. This old man is from the Qin ancient race. Humph, you stole my things. I will also let you off. Qin Yun immediately raised the divine king's spear and said with sneer, if you have the guts, come over. Who is afraid of who? The 7 heaven-opening ancient race elders immediately scattered. They are very worried about the 10,000 generations of descendants that will come out of the divine king's spear. Qin Yun also wants to leave quickly. After all, he just obtained the reincarnation gate, extreme in bloodline heavenly rune, and imperial heavenly talisman. He urgently needs to research and excavate them. However, this group of heaven-opening ancient race people do not plan to let him leave just like that. While Qin Yun is in a deadlock with them, the huge heavenly fate dragon lake in the distance suddenly shot a white light into the sky. It can be said that the entire heavenly fate dragon lake is releasing intense light, forming an incomparably thick white light beam that shot into the sky in the dark night. Following that, a majestic and powerful dragon power accompanied by a fierce gale attacked. The people floating in the sky, even if they have profound cultivation, were blown away. Everyone was blown away. No matter how strong their factions are, they're unable to stabilize themselves. It can be seen how terrifying that energy wave is. Those who are not from my dragon race scram from the heavenly fate sacred land. A rough voice filled with majesty resounded throughout the heaven and earth. Those who are not strong enough in the heavenly fate sacred land are now bleeding from their 7 apertures, and their souls are trembling. All heaven dragon emperors have come into being. Chapter 2700. Qin Yun was also afraid of being robbed. There were only 2 godly monarch heavenly seals in the entire God's wilderness. Then there was the bloodline heavenly rune in his possession. It was difficult for others to obtain even one, but now everyone knew that he had 3. Great Divine Lord and the others did not dare to snatch it, so they could only aim at Qin Yun. Even though they knew that this little God King wasn't easy to deal with, it was worth it for them to take the risk and give it a try. They felt that even if they failed, they wouldn't be killed. Qin Yin had never seen the great divine king before. He only felt that the great divine king was extremely carefree and unrestrained. He was a little worried that the great divine lord would instigate his son or disciple to snatch the little divine king heavenly seal. If the great divine lord were to secretly help him from behind, it would be a headache for Qin Yin. Qin Yin immediately distanced himself from the heavenly fate dragon lake when he saw the all-heavens dragon emperor appear. The ancient Yu clan, the great sky god tribe, the sun-moon god tribe, and the law enforcement world had not left. They were still hovering in the air. Apart from them, there were many other non-humans watching from afar. The sudden voice of the all-heavens dragon emperor made the people of the heaven-splitting clan look grave. They had no time to care about Qin Yin. These ancient race beings had existed for a very long time. They should have been the strongest beings in the deity desolate. However, the all-heavens dragon race that had just appeared was as powerful as the heaven-opening ancient clans. The most terrifying thing about the all-heavens dragon clan was their scale. All kinds of dragon races, dragon beasts, dragon people, mutated dragons, and so on will be unified into the dragon race, obeying the call of the heavens dragon emperor. Such a large-scale race could be said to be equivalent to all the heaven-opening ancient races. The heaven-splitting ancient clan could only be evenly matched with the dragon race if they joined forces. Qin Yin left the heavenly mandate sacred land as fast as he could. His gains from entering the Destiny Sacred Land were already great enough. After absorbing the Destiny Dragon Lake's water, not only did his body become stronger, he even obtained the Heavenly Pattern Egg, allowing him to step into the Shuntian Monarch realm. After Qin Yin left the Heavenly Mandate Sacred Land, he could still see the gigantic white light beam shooting into the sky from the Heavenly Mandate Dragon Lake. It was a spectacular sight in the night. He opened his third eye and saw the silhouettes of many giant dragons in the white light. All sorts of giant dragons flew out along with the light beam. So, this is how the All-Heavens Dragon race was formed. Qin Yin is secretly alarmed. He originally believed that the All-Heavens Dragon race was the birth of a group of the most powerful dragons. But now, it seemed that the Destiny Dragon Lake was actually strengthening the elites of the various dragon races, making them even more powerful dragons, making their dragon bloodlines even stronger and purer. Xiao Yun, do you think the Heaven's Dragon Emperor was transformed from the original dragon? Ling Yuner asked. I don't know. I will ask my dragon race friends. Qin Yin contacted a few dragon race friends, but did not receive any reply. At this moment, a white beam of light shot over. Finally, it turned into a bolt of lightning and flashed towards Qin Yin at an extremely fast speed. What is this? Very strong. Qin Yin immediately released Sun Heavenly Shield to block in front of him. Master, it's me. A gentle voice rang out, and then a charming and pretty woman in white appeared. That white-clothed woman is Long Tianji. She has changed a lot. She looks a lot more noble, especially the dragon power on her body. It is very powerful. Qin Yun is shocked to discover that he and Long Tianji originally had a contract, but now the contract has disappeared. Tianji, what did you experience in the Destiny Dragon Lake? Qin Yun asked. I have become stronger. In the Destiny Dragon Lake, everyone has become stronger. Long Tianji laughed and said, Master, I want to continue following you. Our contract has been dissolved. You don't need to continue following me. Now that the Heaven's Dragon race has appeared, you belong to the Dragon race. Qin Yin gently caressed her face and said with a smile, Go, start a new life with your race. Long Tianji shook her head and said, No, I want to be with Qin Sheng and Tianzi. I'm already used to this kind of life. Then she tightly hugged Qin Yun's arm and began acting coquettishly towards Qin Yun like Shui Tianzi. She has been together with Shui Tianzi all day and has mastered all of Shui Tianzi's seductive techniques. All right, then you continue following me, Qin Yun said with a smile. Actually, he is also very reluctant to part with this woman who has been following him for a long time. Many times, Long Tianji has helped him a lot. Oh, that's right. Xiaofeng and Yu Qing should have come out by now, right? Qin Yun asked. I was with them, but they are still under the lake. In short, those who have not come out yet have great potential. Long Tianji said with smile. Master, you won't dislike me for having limited potential, right? Why would I? Qin Yun said with smile. He looked at the intense light beam coming from the heavenly fate dragon lake and asked, is the Heavens Dragon Emperor a newly born dragon, or did he evolve from the dragon race? When I was under the lake, I suddenly obtained an inheritance and found out that the Heavens Dragon Emperor was born under the heavenly fate dragon lake. There's a very large dragon palace under the heavenly fate dragon lake. It is called the Heavenly Fate Dragon Palace. Long Tianji's elegant eyebrows are slightly creased as she said in low voice, Master, the Heaven's Dragon Emperor is very strong. Moreover, he has an undying and indestructible body as well as a soul. Then do you think he will snatch my little divine, King Heavenly Seal? Qin Yun is somewhat worried. If he has such an undying body as his enemy, it will be very troublesome in the future. Long Tianji laughed and said, he won't. With the Dragon Emperor's strength, he will definitely snatch the great divine King Heavenly Seal. Then I feel relieved. Although Qin Yun said with smile, he is not a bit relieved in his heart, because he not only has the little divine King Heavenly Seal, he also has bloodline Heavenly Rune. Those are things that even big shots covet very much. The Heavenly Fate Holy Land is now enveloped by intense white light. The entire Heavenly Fate Holy Land looks like it is transforming. Although Long Tianji came out early, her strength is also not weak, otherwise she would not have been able to fly to Qin Yun from the middle of the Heavenly Fate Dragon Lake so quickly. While Qin Yun is looking at the transformation of the Heavenly Fate Holy Land, he received a message from Yu Shangyun saying that she must immediately return to the Heavenly Divine Moon. She said that a situation has occurred inside the moon's heart. Yu Shangyun did not say what the situation is. She only said that it is not dangerous. It is because the Heavenly Fate Dragon Lake shot out light rays that caused a situation inside the moon's heart. This Heavenly Fate Dragon Lake, how did it form? Qin Yun muttered. He believes that the appearance of the Heavenly Fate Dragon Lake is related to the Bloodline Heavenly Rune, but the Bloodline Heavenly Rune is not the main reason. Now the movement of the Heavenly Fate Dragon Lake is very dreadful. Even if a new Myriad Realms Divine Son was born, it would not have this kind of movement. Chapter 2701. The person who spoke just now had a very gentle voice. He was a middle-aged man in white with a benevolent face. The middle-aged man's temples were white, and he wore a white tiger head jade crown on his head. The middle of his belt was buckled with a mighty white tiger head. His weapon was a saber with a white scabbard and a white hilt. There was a white tiger-headed eagle on the hilt, and a ferocious white tiger was carved on the scabbard. White tiger, Long Tianji immediately said in deep voice. Then she stood in front of Qin Yun, instinctively protecting her master. This caused Qin Yun to feel very touched. He pulled Long Tianji's lily-white hand and said with smile, Tianji, this senior is not scary at all. When Qin Yun saw the middle-aged man's attire, he knew that he was a white tiger. Back when he was the Nanyang Palace King, he had gotten to know the white tiger, who was also by Si's father. Palace King, long time no see. Do you still recognize me? The middle-aged man smiled and said, I am much younger than you. I can't be your senior. Qin Yun had experienced 9 lifetimes, so his memories were very complicated. It was also because his soul was powerful and he cultivated the heavenly soul and heavenly soul that he was able to circulate such complicated memories. He was stunned. No matter how hard he tried, he could not find any memories related to this middle-aged man, because the only white tigers he knew were White Death and White Death's father. Maybe it's been too long. I can't remember. Qin Yun shook his head and said, Since you address me as Palace King, you must have met me when the Nanyang Divine Palace was just established, right? I still remember the white tiger I know, but I've never seen it before. Yes, sir. The middle-aged man said with a smile, I was not originally a white tiger. I only became a white tiger after reincarnation. I was once White Tiger's subordinate, called Bai Li Fei. Bai Li Fei? I have an impression of this name. Qin Yun immediately dug out something related to this name from his vast and jumbled memories. It's a tiger cub that White Tiger had picked up. The name was given by White Tiger. You are not only White Tiger's subordinate. He views you as his own son. Qin Yun said in astonishment. He never expected that after so many years, he would still be able to see Bai Li Fei. What was even more unbelievable was that after Bai Li Fei reincarnated, he became a white tiger. Bai Li Fei smiled and said, "Palace King, I didn't expect you to remember a small fry like me. After so many years, I can't remember many things from back then, but you still remember me. Bai Li Fei, are you in the Nine Suns Sacred Land now?" Qin Yun could sense the unique divine power aura of the Nine Sun Sacred Land from him. That's right. I am an elder of the White Tiger royal family of the Nanyang Tiger clan. After Bai Li Fei finished speaking, he looked at the Destiny Dragon Lake in the distance. With a serious expression, he said, "Our Nanyang Tiger Emperor is also on his way. I wonder if our tiger race there will be conflicts with the Dragon Clan." Qin Yun patted him on the shoulder and said, "Your tiger race, don't be reckless." Bai Li Fei nodded and said, "We know. We have no intention of challenging the dignity of the dragon race. We are only here to congratulate the all-sky dragon race." He looked at Long Tianji and naturally saw that it was a dragon from the all-heaven dragon race. However, it is very surprising that Qin Yun has such a loyal dragon by his side. By the way, what's going on with the great divine lord in the Nine Suns Sacred Land? Qin Yun asked. "I believe you already know a lot about me, right?" Bai Li Fei sighed and said, "Palace King, you have the little divine King Heavenly Seal in your hand. This has indeed brought a lot of trouble. As far as I know, even the great divine lord wants your Heavenly Seal because he does not allow the all-heaven divine desolate to have two divine kings." Long Tianji lightly groaned and said, "This guy is really greedy. Having the great divine King Heavenly Seal is not enough. He still wants to steal the little one." Bai Li Fei said with bitter smile, "The little divine King Heavenly Seal is very special. Even though it is called the little divine King Heavenly Seal, it can help me grow and evolve. The great divine King Heavenly Seal has a limit, but the little divine King Heavenly Seal does not." Qin Yun knows very little about the divine King Heavenly Seal in his hand. He can only use it to borrow the divine power of the myriad realms' divine Sunday. What about the great divine lord? Is he still in the Nine Sun Sacred Land? Qin Yun suddenly felt a great pressure. He is already here, together with his two disciples. They are also rushing over to the Heaven's Mandate Sacred Land. Bai Li Fei said, "The great divine lord's two disciples are the great divine lord's emperor and the great divine lord's emperor. Both of them want to obtain Qin Yun's divine King Heavenly Seal so that they can match up with their master. Then I will be leaving first." Qin Yun immediately pulled Long Tianji and flew away. "Palace King, we will meet again someday. I will visit the Nine Sun Divine Palace when I have time." Bai Li Fei yelled from behind. Qin Yun can hear his voice, but he did not reply. After he placed Long Tianji inside the Nine Sun Divine Soul, he stepped on the void step and quickly left the Heaven's Mandate Dragon Lake. The Heavenly Dragon Race has come into being, and they are such formidable existences. Even if the other strong races want to suppress them, they are powerless. In this kind of situation, the other strong races must congratulate the Heavenly Dragon Race and send them generous gifts to build good relations. If Qin Yun does not leave the Heaven's Mandate Sacred Land, he will definitely be chased and beaten by the other strong races' clan emperors. Especially after he made the heaven-opening ancient race suffer great losses. Now the clan emperors of the Great Divine Race and Great Divine Race want to obtain the Divine King Heavenly Seal. They will definitely attack Qin Yun. There is no need to talk about the ancient race. The strongest enemy is still the Great Divine King. This heavenly divine desolate great era is truly dreadful. I thought I would be able to survive after reaching divine heaven lord realm. Now it seems that if I meet those big shots, I will definitely not be able to defeat them. Qin Yun looked at the divine sun heavenly soil inside the nine sun divine soul. Realm transformation purple ginseng. Realm transformation purple ginseng can allow him to break through divine heaven lord realm even faster. If it grows, he can quickly refine pills and then break through to divine heaven lord realm even faster. This way, when the time comes, everyone will be in a completely new and unknown realm, and the gap between them will not be that big. After Qin Yun left the Heaven's Mandate Sacred Land, he took out the Devil Mirror and looked at the news regarding the Heaven's Mandate Sacred Land. Yao Yao, what is the situation? Qin Yun contacted Yao Yao. Yao Yao and her father are still inside the Heaven's Mandate Sacred Land. Qin Yun, it is good that you left quickly. Did you know Yuan Long is here? He is the leader of the assassins. Moreover, half of his body is dragon blood. He is very strong. Yao Yao replied, Is that so? Did he come alone? Qin Yun asked. Of course not. He brought 2 9 dragon head assassins and several 8 dragon head assassins. That's right, the great divine race emperor is also coming. Yao Yao said. Chapter 2702. When Qin Yun mentioned this matter, Imperial Demon Yao very happily laughed and said, Dragon Saint Teacher, the Ling family is definitely going to eat you up. Sister Dai Xin is a virgin, and now her reputation is ruined because of you. You have to take responsibility for her. What virgin? Dai Xin must be an old demon tens of thousands of years old. Yao Yao, you might even be older than Dai Xin, yet you still call her big sister. You're taking advantage of her, and you still have the nerve to laugh at me, Qin Yun said in a very bad mood. But now, everyone thinks that big sister Dai Xin is your woman. Don't tell me that you are not going to take responsibility? Yu Yao Yao said with a charming smile. Humph, Dai Xin brought me to the banquet and wanted me to spoil her blind date. I'm just obeying her orders. What responsibility do I have to bear? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, If she hadn't asked me to spoil her blind date, I would definitely be a mute and not say a word. Damn it. I helped her, but she hasn't thanked me yet. He didn't think he did anything wrong. If it wasn't for his timely intervention, Ling Daixin might have ended up marrying a tramp like Yu Yongyao. For Yu Yongyao to marry Ling Daixin, he most likely didn't have any good intentions. He definitely wanted to squeeze some value out of Ling Daixin. Yu Yao Yao laughed and said, The Ling family doesn't think so. They're convinced that you and Sister Dai Xin are together. So no matter what, they want to get some benefits from you. Get what? The Extreme Sky Race Emperor wants to steal my divine King Heavenly Seal. The Emperor of the Extreme Sky clan is Dai Xion's father. If her father tries to steal my Heaven's Seal, I might become her father's enemy. Qin Yun said helplessly. Of course, Yu Yao Yao knew about this as well. Besides the Arch of the Ancient Yu clan, the Arch of the Ancient Yu clan would also attack Qin Yun. The God King Heavenly Seal and Bloodline Heavenly Rune in Qin Yun's hands are what those big shots want. Our clan emperor will also come, no matter what. Yu Luan Hui was an elder of the Yu ancient clan. He was killed by you, and the gate of reincarnation is in your hands. Clan emperor will definitely not do nothing, so he will definitely look for you. Imperial Demon Yao said, Let's talk about it after he finds me. Qin Yun said with smile, If I, Qin Yun, want to hide, no one can find me. Is that so? Even if you use this soul-chasing talisman, you won't be able to find it? Yu Yao Yao knew that Yu Shang Yun and company had Qin Yun's soul-chasing talisman. Of course, as long as I hide in a few layers of space, the soul-chasing talisman won't be able to track me. Qin Yun has too many places to hide, so he has nothing to fear now. If there is any news, I will contact you again. I will discuss with the clan emperor and the others. Let's see how they will deal with you. Yu Yao Yao said. She is naturally on Qin Yun's side. After all, Qin Yun saved her Koan Peng. If not for Qin Yun saving her Koan Peng, it would not have been able to evolve into a 9-yang Kuan-Peng. Because her Kuan-Peng had become stronger, Yu Yaoyao's status had risen a lot. Otherwise, she would not have dared to speak too loudly in front of her father. Just as Qin Yin cut off contact with Imperial Yaoyao, he received a message from Long Shu. Qin Yin, it's best if you stay far away from the Heaven's Mandate sacred land. The further the better. Long Shu's voice is very anxious. What? Qin Yun sped up and flew away from the Heavenly Mandate sacred land. It's a long story. All Heaven's dragon race has already formed, and there are many factions inside. More than half of them want to capture you and share the 2 bloodline heavenly runes with you. Long Shu said with sigh. What did the All Heaven's Dragon Emperor say? Qin Yun asked. He did not say anything. It is equivalent to tacitly agreeing to those factions. Me, the little monkey, as well as the 9-Sun Dragon race, all oppose this, but the Dragon Emperor still did not say anything. Long Shu said. Qin Yun knew that after the All Heaven's Dragon race appeared, they would most likely target him. Therefore, he left the Heaven's Mandate sacred land early on. Qin Yun, I'm sorry, I couldn't help you. Long Shu said with some guilt. She hopes that Qin Yun and the Dragon race can have a good relationship. It's fine. I can understand. Qin Yun's voice is filled with dignity as he said, if possible, help me tell your Dragon Emperor that if his subordinates attack me, I, Qin Yun, will not hesitate to exterminate them. Tell him that if his dragons attack me, I, Qin Yun, will not hesitate to kill them. I, Qin Yun, am not afraid of angering the All Heaven's Dragon Emperor. Long Shu knows that since Qin Yun said this, he must have some confidence. This is also what she is worried about. Qin Yun contacted Xie Wufeng. He is together with the Divine Judge and is currently heading towards the Heaven's Mandate Dragon Lake. The Myriad Realms Divine Court will definitely welcome this kind of powerful race. At the same time, they will also ask these powerful races to respect the Myriad Realms Divine Court. He put away the Devil Mirror and aimlessly flew by himself until daybreak. 5 Myriad Realms Divine Suns appeared in the sky. Qin Yin looked at the Myriad Realms Divine Suns in the sky and said with long sigh, when all the Myriad Realms Divine Suns appear, my Divine King Heavenly Seal will reach large success. The 5th Myriad Realms Divine Sun has appeared. Sister Yang wants to go inside, right? I can't even contact her. Qin Yin misses Yang Shuriwe very much. He has not seen her for a long time. After Sister Yang, it will be Sister Bingxing. I can't even contact 9-Sun Divine Maiden during this period of time. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun immediately flew towards the 5th Divine Sun and said, I will enter the core of the 5th Divine Sun and wait for Sister Yang. I will be able to see her very soon. He flew towards the 5th Divine Sun, took out the Devil Mirror, and contacted Mad Sun Tiger Emperor. He asked, Mad Sun Tiger Emperor, your white sun seed is almost ready. I will give it to you as soon as possible. Oh, that's right. You should be more careful now. As far as I know, Nanyang Tiger Emperor is also very interested in you. Mad Sun Tiger Emperor said, I have already met with the people from the Nanyang Tiger race. I am in their main army. Mad Sun Tiger Emperor knows that Qin Yun has a bloodline heavenly rune that he gave him. If this matter were to spread out, the people who want to capture Qin Yun will become even more crazy. There's so many people who want to capture me now. Moreover, all of them are big shots. Qin Yun said with a smile. Boss Qin is Boss Qin. Even though so many big shots are watching you, you can still talk and laugh wittily and wittily. But you still have to be more careful. Mad Sun Tiger Emperor said with a smile. Got it. Qin Yun put away the Devil Mirror and secretly thanked Bai Li Fei in his heart. Although Bai Li Fei did not say that Nanyang Tiger Emperor has designs on him, he still informed him in advance, telling him to immediately leave the Heaven's Mandate Holy Land. Bai Li Fei's actions cannot be considered as betraying the tiger race, so he felt a bit better in his heart. All of you go congratulate the big shot Heavenly Dragon Emperor. Then I, Qin Yun, will go take a look at the 5th Divine Sun. Do you think it is so easy to become a Divine King? If there is a problem with the 5th Divine Sun, I will have to go and help solve the problem. If you had the heavenly seal, would you be able to handle it? Qin Yun looked at the fifth divine sun and muttered in his heart. The fifth divine sun in the sky appeared very suddenly, and the movement was not big. The divine power it released is very weak, but the multicolored light is very strong. Chapter 2703. On the way to Diwu Divine Sun, Qin Yun took out the magic mirror from time to time to understand the situation of the heavenly mandate sacred land. The appearance of the dragon race has caused a great commotion in the divine desolate. Furthermore, this is a very important matter in the great era of the divine desolate. It would not be an exaggeration to say that the current dragon race is the strongest race in the divine desolate. Therefore, the future actions of the dragon race are something that many races in the divine desolate are very concerned about. If the dragon race wanted to take the path of hegemony, then the divine desolate would definitely plunge into misery and suffering. The dragon race is so huge and has so many branches. If they were to fight, there would definitely be some members of the dragon race who would go on a killing spree. Therefore, the pressure on the Myriad Realms Divine Court is extremely great. With the current power of the Myriad Realms Divine Court, it is impossible to suppress the dragon race. Only if the Myriad Realms Divine Court joins forces with other powerful races would they be able to suppress the strongest dragon race. Fortunately, the dragon race does not have such thoughts. The Heavenly Dragon Emperor has already announced that as long as they do not take the initiative to provoke the dragon race, they will not start a war. The divine desolate is so big that it is enough to accommodate the strongest dragon race. Even if they fight for hegemony, it would be meaningless. In short, now that the dragon race is unified, those who want to hunt dragons in the future must be careful. If the dragon race finds out, the consequences will be very miserable. The Heavenly Dragon Emperor has issued a ruthless statement that whoever dares to catch dragons to eat will be tortured to death by the dragon race. In other words, even if they are bullied by the dragon race in the future, they will have to endure it. As for the internal factions of the dragon race, outsiders do not know. The dragon race has just unified, so it is impossible for the outside world to know about their internal factions. This way, they will think that they are still internally divided. Qin Yun asked Long Shu, and she only said that there are several factions within the dragon race. They mainly represent different types of dragon race. Long Shu, did you see the great God King? Qin Yun used the magic mirror to contact Long Shu. I saw him. He looks like a very ordinary old man. I can't see anything. He had a secret discussion with the Dragon Emperor. Long Shu's voice came from the magic mirror. This great godly monarch is very arrogant. When I greeted him with the little monkey, he didn't even look at us. Little God King and I greeted him, but he didn't even look at us. Qin Yun is quite a straightforward person. Long Shu and Monkey King have a very good impression of Qin Yun, especially since Qin Yun gave them cigarettes. Long Shu, actually, the great divine lord is nothing special. This little divine king, am only temporarily not as strong as him. Who knows in the future? Qin Yun did not have a good impression of the great divine king, because he knew that the great divine king also wanted to snatch his heaven seal. Of course, just a great divine king, far from being as good as Boss Qin. Long Shu laughed a few times, then said solemnly, Boss Qin, you really have to pay attention. They are currently discussing how to capture you. Oh, then how did their discussion go? Qin Yun asked anxiously. I don't know. Only the clan emperors of those powerful clans are allowed to enter the secret room for a secret discussion. Long Shu sighed. Qin Yun said with a smile, It's fine. Qin Yun, have seen all sorts of storms. I'm not afraid of them. By the way, which big shots are having a secret meeting? The Yu Tribe's Emperor, the Great Heaven Tribe's Emperor, the Sun Moon Tribe's Emperor, the Law Enforcement Realm King, the Heaven Secret Sect Master, the Nine-Yang Tiger Emperor, the Nine-Yang Fairy Tribe's Emperor, and the Qin Clan's Emperor, the Shao Clan's Emperor, the Dragon Clan's Emperor, and the Great Divine King who just arrived. Are they all going to attack you? But you must guard against them. Qin Yun said with a smile. For me, Qin Yun, to be targeted by so many big shots. Aren't they thinking too highly of me? Mr. Qin, I'm going to entertain the other guests. I'll let you know if anything happens. Long Shu said. She maintained contact with Qin Yun mainly because she wanted to get help from Qin Yun in the future, because Qin Yun was an eccentric person who had mastered all kinds of mysterious techniques. For example, the vat of blood she obtained from Qin Yun was of great use to her. In addition, Qin Yun's inscription technique made her feel admiration. Qin Yun is already far away from the ground. He is flying towards Fifth Divine Sunday. After talking with Long Shu, he asked Zi Qingsheng about Yi Yaoxue and Xian Rujing's situation. They're still not awake. If the Heaven Secret sect leader is here, then that saint-level assassin must be here as well. These guys from the Heaven Secret sect almost killed my Yaoxue and Big Sister Rujing. Qin Yun secretly clenched his fists as his expression gradually turned cold. Just you wait. Once I figure out where the Heaven Secret chapter is, I'll do it. Qin Yun, will personally go there and beat you up. Qin Yun wants to personally go to the Heaven Secret sect. He also wants to find Shui Yu and Yi Yu. They're still alive, but have been imprisoned and sealed. He and the Heaven Secret sect must settle this once and for all, because inside the Heaven Secret sect, that evil mother you will surely attack Divine Moon Clan again. She might even use Divine Moon Clan to blackmail him. Qin Yun now knows that the reason why Yushang Yun kept her distance from him is because she doesn't want him to be blackmailed. 2 days later, Qin Yun entered the region where the sun is releasing intense light. After entering this region, he discovered a very strange situation. Because according to his understanding of Myriad Realm's divine sun, to be able to release this kind of intense light means that there is no problem with the fifth divine Sunday. And the problem is that the divine power released by the fifth divine sun has become very weak. Sometimes it can't even be sensed. Could it be that the divine power of Myriad Realm's divine sun has been cut off? Qin Yun looked at the intense light all around him. This intense light is formed when the surface of the Myriad Realm's divine sun explodes with energy. In other words, the energy released by the fifth divine sun is normal. What's abnormal is that after the energy was released, it didn't continue to shine on the divine desolate land along with the intense light. Qin Yun took out the divine king heavenly seal to sense it and discovered that the reaction to the fifth divine sun is still very weak. Strange, the fifth divine sun's divine power has been cut off, and something must have happened to the core. That's why the divine king heavenly seal can't sense it. Qin Yun can only speed up and fly towards the fifth divine Sunday. During the time when the fifth divine sun appeared, no experts came to investigate because everyone was mainly concentrated on the heaven's mandate sacred land. Qin Yun only heard that the fifth divine sun is also very special. Some people want to enter but don't know how. It's not like the fourth divine sun, where there is a passage to enter. I wonder if the fifth divine sun has any divine sun descendants. Qin Yun collected the divine power of the 40th universe divine sun, but he never studied it. The 40th universe divine sun's divine power can restrain the divine sun descendants, but he doesn't know how to use it. Not long after, Qin Yun landed on the surface of the fifth divine Sunday. Its surface is a dazzling golden crystal. He tried to use the mysterious penetration divine ability to penetrate, but he couldn't enter. As expected, it's very difficult to enter. Qin Yun used the void crossing step again, but he couldn't open up the space. The surface of the fifth divine sun is a very powerful barrier, and the energy is also released under the crystal layer, but it has been cut off. Chapter 2704. After Yang Yang came out, she couldn't forget about those dragon peaches. She even hugged Qin Yun's thigh and asked him to give her more to eat. Qin Yun caressed her cute little face and said with a smile, "The dragon peach divine tree has been cut and uprooted. If you want to eat dragon peach, you'll have to wait for a very long time." Who did it? I'll go and destroy him." After Yang Yang heard this, she shouted angrily. She put her hands on her waist, and her angry look was very cute. "You can't beat them. Qin Yun stroked her head and said, "Bring me inside the divine sun first. Big brother, I'm a 9 heavens vermilion bird now. I'm very strong." Yang Yang waved her tightly clenched little fist. "Ah, you evolved into a vermilion bird?" Qin Yun was somewhat astonished because he could not tell. Nodding her head, Yang Yang smiled and said, "I'll show you when I have the chance. My control over my transformation isn't good enough, and I'm afraid of hurting you." Yang Yang still looked like a little girl. It seemed like she would never grow up in the future. Furthermore, she didn't want to grow up. She felt that she could get along better with cuties like Mo and the Little Ant Queen. Yang Yang pulled Qin Yun and flew towards a certain direction. She said, "Big brother, there's a big fish inside the myriad world's divine Yang land." "Big fish? What the hell?" Qin Yun said in astonishment. He never expected that Yang Yang would be able to tell that there was something wrong with the fifth divine Yang not long after she came out. "Kuan Peng," Yang Yang said in a low voice, "that guy's very powerful, and it's also very big. I'm a little afraid of it. It looks like a big fish. It used to be very small, even smaller than Mo. Qin Yun was secretly alarmed. The Kuan Peng was actually inside the fifth divine Sunday. He now understood why the divine power of the fifth divine sun felt like it had been cut off. It was because the 9 suns Kuan Peng was inside. "How do you know that the Kuan Peng was very small in the past?" asked Qin Yun curiously. "It's like this in my inherited memories. The Kuan Peng is now under the care of Grandpa's son and can sleep inside the divine sun." Yang Yang brought Qin Yun along as they searched for the entrance. Qin Yun understood that on the surface of the myriad realm's divine sun, there was a special entrance for divine beasts to enter. For example, Yang Yang knew where the entrance was. Not long after, Yang Yang brought Qin Yun to the surface of the fifth divine Sunday. Although the fifth divine sun was relatively small, it was still very large. Humans were like grains of sand in front of the fifth divine Sunday. Finding an entrance on the surface of such a huge divine sun was even harder than finding a needle in a haystack. "Is this the place?" Qin Yun followed Yang Yang and stood on the golden crystal. Yang Yang, who is wearing a red dress, is bouncing around Qin Yun. She is currently drawing circles around Qin Yun. Not long after, a purplish-red ring of fire appeared on the ground. "Big brother, only I can open this teleportation formation. Ask Little Ant Queen to transfer a bit of spatial divine power to me." Yang Yang entered the fire ring, grabbed Qin Yun's hand, and said. Qin Yun got the Little Ant Queen to transfer her spatial divine power to Yang Yang. "Rumble, rumble, la 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 la. Move, hit, hit, hit. Activate the formation." After Yang Yang chanted a string of strange incantations, Qin Yun felt the array formation beneath his feet activate. In the blink of an eye, he felt the space around him change. He and Yang Yang entered the myriad realm's divine Sunday. After entering, Qin Yun was alarmed. He saw a giant beast covered in dazzling golden flames. It looked like a giant fish, but it was not a fish. Because this giant beast body is too large, Qin Yun can't even see its entire body. He can only see its side. More than half of the inside of the fifth divine sun is occupied by the 9 sun Kuan Peng. In other words, the core is very likely to be inside the 9 sun Kuan Peng. This is what's going on. Qin Yun already knew that the 9 sun Kuan Peng is not with you Yao Yao and has gone to the myriad realm's divine Sunday. He originally thought that the 9 sun Kuan Peng was wandering around the myriad realm's divine sun to absorb divine power. He never expected it to be inside the myriad realm's divine Sunday. In fact, many people believe that the 9 sun Kuan Peng is wandering outside the myriad realm's divine sun to absorb divine power. Big fish, I'm here to see you," Yang Yang shouted. "Don't eat us, we are not delicious." Qin Yun immediately covered Yang Yang's mouth. He doesn't know whether to laugh or cry in his heart. This little girl previously said that she was a little afraid of the Kuan Peng, but now she is shouting so enthusiastically. There are no divine sun descendants here. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and did not see any divine sun descendants. Big brother, divine sun descendants can't enter here. This is Big Fish's nest. Yang Yang said. What about the core? Qin Yun also can't see the core. Could it be that the core is really inside the Kuan Peng's body? If Yang Shiryu came, she would definitely enter the core. The other myriad realms' divine sun lands all have two regions. The outer region is very large, and the descendants of the divine sun are mainly concentrated in the outer region. They are unable to enter the core region. The core region contains the core, which is also where the energy of the myriad realms' divine sun resides. As for this fifth divine sun, there is no distinction between the inner and outer regions. The inner and outer regions lack the crystal layer separating them, causing the inner and outer regions to merge together. Therefore, the inner space is even larger. The divine sun core is on my back. Kuan Peng's voice sounded. Hearing the Kuan Peng's voice, Qin Yun jumped in fright. If the voice was very rough, he would have thought that it was normal. However, the Kuan Peng's voice actually sounded like that of a little boy, childish and immature. Big Fish, you're awake. When Yang Yang heard the Kuan Peng's childlike voice, she could not help but laugh tenderly. Looks like you haven't grown up much. You're still a little thing. Big Sister K, you're the little thing. Kuan Peng's voice was filled with dissatisfaction. Qin Yun pulled Yang Yang and flew towards the Kuan Peng's back. He really didn't see that there was an island on the Kuan Peng's back. On the island, there's a very large golden fireball. That is the core. However, it is blocked by the mist spewing out from the Kuan Peng's back. Big brother, I'm going to play with Big Fish. You could go to the core by yourself. Yang Yang said with a smile. Is it really all right? Qin Yun is still somewhat worried. It's fine. Big Fish won't eat a little thing like me. Yang Yang giggled. Benefactor, don't worry. I won't hurt Big Sister K. Kuan Peng's polite voice sounded. Qin Yun never expected that Yang Yang and Kuan Peng's relationship would be so good. He suspected that in their inherited memories, there are memories of each other. Qin Yun felt relieved and let Yang Yang fly to the Kuan Peng's head. The core on the Kuan Peng's back is smaller than the cores of other myriad realms' divine suns. Perhaps it is because the inside is rather special. After Qin Yun went over, he asked, Kuan Peng, is the nine-sun goddess here? He could not tell if Yang Shiryu was inside or not. Chapter 2705. Qin Yun flew to the back of the Kuan Peng and landed on the large fireball. The large fireball was finally normal. Unlike the fourth divine sun, which was a golden red moon, the core of the fifth divine sun was a normal fireball, but the inside was not normal at all. Not only had it become a Kuan Peng's nest, but the descendants of the divine sun were also unable to enter. This made Qin Yun very curious. He wanted to know why divine sun descendants were unable to enter the fifth divine sun. It should be noted that there were a large number of descendants of the divine suns in the first three myriad realms' divine suns. Qin Yun did not understand the current situation of the descendants of the divine sun. He only knew that the law enforcers had come into contact with the descendants of the divine sun clan. Big Fish, why are divine sun descendants unable to enter the fifth divine sun? Qin Yun asked, is there anything special about the fifth divine sun? I'm not too clear. I only know that the fifth divine sun's formation is greatly related to Benefactor. Nine-Sun Kuan Peng replied with his childish and tender voice. He is very respectful towards Qin Yun. When it was still the dark Kuan Peng, it was sealed by the heaven-creating deity palace. Its flesh was cut and its bones were broken, and it suffered all kinds of torture. After Qin Yun rescued him, he was able to regain his freedom. Now he can evolve in the fifth divine sun and become a powerful nine-sun Kuan Peng. Nine-Yang Kuan Peng would never forget this debt of gratitude, so he addressed Qin Yun as his benefactor. Big Fish, don't call him benefactor, call him Uncle Qin. Yang Yang giggled. Uncle Qin is a good person. I have a lot of delicious food with him. Is that so? I haven't eaten anything delicious in a long time. When the Nine Sons Kuan Peng heard about food, it immediately became excited. Didn't Yao Yao give you delicious food? Qin Yun asked. I'm too big. I can't eat enough, so most of the time I enter a dormant state. Nine Suns Kunpeng said. Only after coming here did I absorb enough energy. Now that I have the heavenly universe divine sun in my body, I will never feel hungry again. Yang Yang smiled and said, Big fish, can you turn into a human? Only when you transform into a human can you taste a lot of delicious food. Nine Suns Kunpeng smiled and said, Of course I can. Once I finish evolving, I will be able to transform into a human. Qin Yin had thought of abducting the Kuan Peng a long time ago. Now that he saw that the Nine Suns Kuan Peng was a little glutton, he felt that it wouldn't be too difficult to kidnap the Kuan Peng. Furthermore, with Yang Yang's help, it would be even easier. If Yu Yao Yao, who was currently helping Qin Yin gather intelligence in the heavenly mandate sacred land, were to learn that Qin Yin was trying to poach her, she would definitely ruthlessly bite Qin Yin. Qin Yin stomped on the gigantic core with his foot. Then, he released a powerful mental force into the core to awaken Yang Shiryu. He sent the magic mirror to Xiao Yuanmei and the others. At first he contacted them from time to time, but later he couldn't contact them anymore. If he couldn't contact one or two of them, then there was a possibility that there was a problem with the magic mirror. However, if he couldn't contact all of them, then there was a problem with the core, causing the space to be isolated. Qin Yun channeled his powerful mental power into the core, but he did not receive any response. Furthermore, he felt that after his powerful psychic power entered the core, it would scatter wildly. It would be difficult for it to converge into a line and penetrate the core. When he went to Lu Yu Shuyan's place, he entered the core, and it was Lu Yu Shuyan who took him in. But Xiao Yuanmei and Xiao Yuelan, who entered the core earlier than Lu Yu Shuyan, are unable to do this. It can be seen that every core is different. Moreover, Nine Sun Divine Maiden's control over the core is also different. Big Fishy, is there any way to contact Sister Yang? Qin Yin asked. Uncle Qin, Sister Yang said that if we want to contact her, we will need to pass through 2 layers of space. Nine Sun Kunpeng said. 2 layers of space. Qin Yin is somewhat amazed. There is actually another space in the core. Qin Yin can only let Little Ant Queen come out. Little Ant Queen's perception of space is very strong. Moreover, she can bring him through the dark space. This kind of thing should be left to her, a professional. Big brother, are you ready? Little Ant Queen asked. After learning that Little Ant Queen came out, Yang Yang greeted her and then introduced Kunpeng to her, saying that this big fish is her little brother. Then she no longer disturbed Little Ant Queen from helping Qin Yin. All right, let's begin, Qin Yin said. Little Ant Queen is very small. She is just a beautiful white fairy. She sat on Qin Yin's shoulder and started using her space divine power. Space Xian ants are very strong. They can easily enter the dark space and then come out again. Little Ant Queen followed Qin Yin and absorbed a lot of energy from the Nine Sun Divine Spirit. So she grew very fast. Bringing people into the dark space is not a problem at all. After Qin Yin was wrapped up by the space divine power, his vision turned black and he entered the dark space. That space is so strange, Little Ant Queen exclaimed in admiration. What's so strange about it? Qin Yin asked. There is life in that space, but it is still very young, so it doesn't have any intelligence. Little Ant Queen exclaimed in admiration and said, Big brother, inside the core of Myriad Realms' divine sun, space reproduction space. It is so awesome. Space reproduction space? What does that mean? Qin Yun is also very astonished. He is still inside the dark space and can't sense anything. He can only see Little Ant Queen emitting beautiful white light on his shoulder. It's space giving birth to space. There was originally a space in the center of the core, but another space was born inside that space, so it formed a double space. In the future, it might be able to continue reproducing. Little Ant Queen sighed and said, It's really strange. I wonder why there are multiple spaces. Qin Yin said, Then can we directly enter the double space now? I've already set up a teleportation point. This way, we can enter more gently and won't damage the space here. Little Ant Queen said with smile. Qingyun also wants to quickly meet Yang Shiryu and understand the situation of the Myriad Realms Divine Sun's core. The changes inside the Myriad Realms Divine Sun are the most important. They are related to the rise and fall of the Myriad Realms Divine Sunday. Not long after, Little Ant Queen chose a teleportation point and brought Qingyun into the double space at the center of the core. After entering, it is a vast expanse of whiteness. This space is still relatively small, and the edges of the space are rippling. Being able to see the edge of the space means that it is not big. Although the edge of the space can be seen, when the edge of the space fluctuates, it seems as if it is breathing and absorbing energy to grow. In the center of the vast expanse of whiteness, there is a white light ball that is dozens of meters wide. Qingyun doesn't know what it is. He only knows that it is emitting multicolored light. It is neither cold nor hot. Big Sister Yang, Qingyun shouted. Chapter 2706. The one in the middle is Yang Shiryu. The spirit avatars beside her all have pointed ears and a pair of large translucent spirit wings. Her spirit avatars all look very charming. A pair of slender jade legs can be faintly seen from the slit dress. Their charming eyes flickered with soft ripples, and their faces carried a faint, flirtatious smile. And Yang Shiryu, who is in the middle of the spirit avatars, although she has the same appearance as her spirit avatar, she has a peerless temperament. When this peerless beauty saw Qingyun, her beautiful eyes were filled with tenderness and longing. Xiao Yun, Yang Shiryu flew over and hugged Qingyun tightly. After hugging her for a while, Qin gently caressed her intelligent and elegant face and stared at her beautiful eyes that are as gentle as water. Little Queen Ant has already returned to the Nine-Sun Divine Soul. Yang Shiryu also gently caressed Qingyun's resolute face that is filled with vicissitudes of life. They haven't seen each other for a long time, but now that they have met, they didn't speak much. Instead, they deeply admired each other and caressed the face that haunted their dreams. After that, they naturally embraced each other with deep affection and kissed passionately. Lovers reunited after a long time. As they passionately kissed, they also began to enjoy the endless joy of lovers reuniting. They loved each other to their heart's content in this dual space. In a vast expanse of white space, Qingyun is lying on the ground. He only feels that he is enveloped by endless gentleness. He opened his eyes and looked at the huge ball of light. Yang Shiryu flew out from that ball of light. Big Sister Yang, is your spirit avatar also you? Qingyun pinched the face of one of the spirit avatars. From the spirit avatar, he can see a different Yang Shiryu. The seductive Yang Shiryu also has her own style, and she is also very clingy. Of course it's me. Yang Shiryu chuckled and said, How is it? Is my avatar beautiful? Or am I more beautiful? As long as it's you, it's all the same. Qingyun looked at the three great beauties beside him and said with a happy smile, Yangsha let her spirit avatar put on her clothes and then put it away. Qingyun embraced Yang Shiryu and gently caressed her face and hair. He asked, Big Sister Yang, when did you come to Diwu Divine Sun? As soon as the fifth Divine Sun came out, I came in. Yang Shiryu said, I came in with Kuin Peng. Yang Shiryu had the mission of goddess. Previously, every time she met Qingyun, she would have to separate not long after. She was quite reluctant to part with Qingyun. This double space, what's going on? Are the cores of the other myriad realms divine suns the same? Qingyun asked with a frown. The cores of the other divine suns were not like this before, but after I entered the fifth divine sun, they started to become like this. When Yang Shiryu mentioned this matter, she was also very excited. She smiled and said, It's because of my spirit avatar that space began to appear in the core. Oh, when Qingyun saw the two charming fairies, he had this association. Gang, therefore, Yang Shiryu let her spirit avatar cultivate the third level of the Sun and Moonheart Sutra together with Qingyun. Therefore, Qin Yun could feel that their bodies have very strong spatial divine power. All the cores of the myriad world's divine suns are connected to each other. After my core evolves, the other cores will also evolve along with this core. Yang Shu said again, Wei, Yuelon, Shuyin, and you just contacted me not long ago. Their cores have already opened up a double space. Qin Yun looked at the huge light ball and asked, What about that light ball? What's going on? Yang Shu smiled mysteriously. That's the third space. I estimate that every divine sun core can have 9 spaces. This means that every myriad realm's divine sun will have 9 cores. Qin Yun cried out in alarm. 1 core is already incredible, let alone 9. He asked, Is it because you came in that the myriad realm's divine suns are like this? Yang Shu gently smiled, touched Qin Yun's face, and said, Of course not. It's also because of you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been able to fuse with the spatial Xian ants. Qin Yun took out his divine King Heavenly Seal and said, Sister Yang, can you help me refine the divine King Heavenly Seal? Brand it with the 5th divine sun's imprint. Of course I can. Yang Shu took it, and a ball of white light appeared under the skin of her chest. This is, Qin Yun said in alarm. I am currently drawing the energy of the 1st and 2nd cores. After Yang Shu finished speaking, white light shot down from all directions of the white space. White after the light fell, it turned into a gentle light belt and entered the divine King Heavenly Seal. This way, after a period of time, the refining will be complete. Yang Shu leaned on Qin Yun's chest. Qin Yun also tightly hugged this perfect jade woman, kissed her forehead, and looked at the divine King Heavenly Seal in her hands. Sister Yang, your 9th sun divine maiden is becoming more and more powerful. The reason why our 9th sun divine maiden can become stronger is also because of your help. Yang Shu raised her head and looked at Qin Yun, then smiled and kissed his lips. Oh, that's right, Sister Yang. Do you know the situation inside the 4th divine sun, where Yu is? Qin Yun asked. Lui Wei Shuyin told him that it is a mother sun day. It is a mother sun. All you need to know is that the mother sun is very powerful, and it was created by you. Yang Shu said softly, Xiao Yun, during the growth stage of the myriad realm's divine sun, many things will happen. There will definitely be many strange phenomena, so you don't need to be too curious. Qin Yun only knows that the mother sun is very important. It is very likely to be the main power that restrains the divine sun's descendants. Sister Yang, then what do your 9 sun divine maiden do before entering the core? Qin Yun asked. Many, for example, the Heavenly Fate Holy Land and Heavenly Fate Dragon Lake that recently appeared. We participated in setting up the formation a long time ago. I've been there. Sister Bingxing has been there. Yuelon has also been there. That was a long time ago. Did you all go separately? Qin Yun asked. We mainly went to place some things. We don't know what they are. It was the 9 sun lost spirit that guided us to find those things and then place them in the designated location. Yang Shu said. Qin Yun suspects that the bloodline heavenly rune box that formed the Heavenly Fate Dragon Lake might have been placed there by their 9 sun divine maiden, but they don't know. Then, what's going on with the great divine king? Does the 9 sun lost spirit hate me a little? Why did he send out a great divine king to suppress me? When Qin Yun mentioned this matter, he felt very unhappy. Well, it's a long story. Yang Shu faintly sighed. Her lily-white hand gently caressed Qin Yun's cheek and said softly, Xiao Yun, don't blame the 9 sun lost spirit. There are some things that it can't do. Then who is the 9 sun lost spirit standing on? The guys in the 9 sun holy land are all vicious and evil. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Chapter 2707. Qin Yun pinched Yang Shu's arm a little and said with a smile, Big Sister Yang, don't say half of your words. It's very uncomfortable. Yang Shu moved coquettishly in Qin Yun's embrace. Then she pouted and said, Big Sister Yang doesn't want to say it. Xiao Yun, you are not allowed to force Big Sister Yang to say it. But I really want to know, have you experienced any danger? Qin Yun sighed and said, I am very afraid of losing you. Sure, you pursed her lips into a smile. How? Is that possible? You've experienced 9 lifetimes, but aren't you still with us? How could I lose us? Don't worry. Yin did not pursue the matter. She only hugged Yang Shiryu tightly. Xiao Yun, if the 9-yang Dharma spirit wasn't on your side, after we reach the outer form, we might become another person. Yang Shiryu pressed her cheek against Qin Yun's chest and whispered. She said it anyway. Why is this happening? Can a 9-yang law spirit do it? A look of worry appeared on Qin Yun's face as he frowned slightly. It's not the 9-yang Dharma spirit, but I can't explain it clearly. Right now, the deity Heaven's divine desolate's myriad realms divine sun is very complicated to operate. It's not just the 9-yang Dharma spirit. All you need to know is that the 9-yang law spirit has always been protecting you, and our 9-yang goddess. Yang Shiryu sighed. Qin Yun nodded and said, and I will become stronger even faster. Yang Shiryu suddenly smiled sweetly and said, Little Yin, Big Sister Yang can't guide you in your current cultivation, but you still have to tell me. I want to know. No problem. My main cultivation method is no longer the 9 Extinction Heart Sutra. Qin Yun said, however, I've been using some of the techniques of the 9 Extinction Heart Sutra. For example, the Heaven Extermination 9 style, Heaven Extermination 9 fingers. Yun spoke a lot. After all, over the years, he had learned and mastered many cultivation techniques, and some of them he hadn't used in a long time. Yang after Shiryu heard this, she said with slight frown, actually, there are some cultivation methods that are not bad. I think you can integrate them together and use them together with your inscription battle technique. I can't help you with this. I'm not proficient in inscription. How do we integrate them? Asked Qin Yun. 9 Extinction Heart Sutra's cultivation technique might restrict you because inscription do technique and totem martial arts are both very powerful. And the cultivation technique of the 9 Extinction Heart Sutra is not compatible with runes and totems. Yang Shiryu said, not bad. The inscription battle technique is very strong. When used in battle, the power is stronger than many heavenly law divine abilities. Qin Yun nodded and said. Yang Shiryu smiled and said, how about this? You stay here for a while. I can provide you with ideas and let you try to integrate and create your own cultivation method. All right, Teacher Yang, please advise me. Qin Yun said with a smile. Yang Shiryu giggled. She could not help but recall the time when she brought Qin Yun to the academy. The God King Heavenly Seal in her hand was still absorbing the power of the core. Big Sister Yang, is the God King Heavenly Seal still useful? Qin Yun looked at the Divine King Heavenly Seal in Yang Shiryue's hand. He always wanted to dig out other uses for it, especially for battle. Now, he could only use the Godly Monarch Heavenly Seal to draw the divine power of the myriad realms' divine sun into his body or release the Godly Monarch Heavenly Seal to suppress others. Except other than that, he didn't know how to use it in battle. Yang Shiryu shook her head and said, I also don't know. Then tell me, what do you usually use the Godly Monarch Heavenly Seal for? Qin Yun simply explained that apart from battle, it can also be used to transmit divine position. The Godly Monarch Heavenly Seal is a seal, and the surface of the seal is the strongest. It is mainly used to leave imprints. I think that you can combine the formidable runes that you use and find a way to inject them into the Heavenly Seal. When you fight, you can use it on other people's body and form a formidable rune combination. That's right. Qin Yun also used it before, but later he felt that the effect was not very good, so he didn't use it again. After the Godly Monarch Heavenly Seal can draw the divine power of the myriad realms' divine sun, he still hasn't tested its effect. Yang Shiryu said again. Also, the Godly Monarch Heavenly Seal can be used to activate the 9 Sun World Extermination Scripture. As for the specifics, you should properly comprehend it yourself. I also don't understand. Qin Yun has not used the 9 Sun World Extermination Scripture for a long time, because if he uses it now, it will surely cause a great commotion. especially now that he already has 5 myriad realms divine sun. He can only use it when facing a very powerful enemy. Not long after, Yang Shuriwei returned the godly monarch heavenly seal to Qin Yun, then put on her clothes and combed her long hair. She also asked Ling Yuner and Zi Qingxing to come out and meet them. After all, they have not seen each other for a long time. Yang is still chatting with Nine's son Kunping outside. Qin Yun held the godly monarch heavenly seal and began thinking about what Yang Shuriwei said before. He wants to comprehend how to use the Nine-Sun World Extermination Scripture through the godly monarch heavenly seal. The Nine-Sun World Extermination Scripture is very formidable. Lu Yu, Shu Yin, and Yang Shuriwei have both learned it, but it is impossible for them to use it to the extreme. Only Qin Yun can do it, because Qin Yun has the godly monarch heavenly seal. Yang Shuriwei and Zi Qingxing are having a secret discussion. They're studying the newest Sun-Moon Heart Sutra. Most of the newest Sun-Moon Heart Sutra was comprehended by Yu Shangyun and Yang Shuriwei. The Sun-Moon Heart Sutra can't be known by men, so Yang Shuriwei brought Shui Tianzi and others into the light ball in this space to study it. Qin Yun also heard from Ling Yuner that learning the newest Sun-Moon Heart Sutra can't be done by word of mouth. It also needs to be cultivated together. She also said that she needs to take off her clothes. In short, the process made her very reluctant to part with it. If the Kuan Peng absorbs enough energy, it will definitely leave the 50,000th universe divine sun. Qin Yun suddenly thought of this question. After the Kuan Peng leaves the 5th divine sun, will there be any change in the 5th divine sun? When the 5th divine sun appeared, because the Kuan Peng is inside, the divine power released is very weak. And after the Kuan Peng leaves, the 5th divine sun's inner core will definitely be stronger because of the multiple spaces. Yang Shue also said that they are currently in the 2nd inner core of the 5th divine Sunday. There's a group of big shots at the Heaven's Fate Dragon Lake. If something happens to the 5th divine sun, they will definitely come over to take a look. Qin Yun held the godly monarch heavenly seal in his hand. He can't let those guys cause trouble at the 5th divine Sunday. He took out the pill transformation heavenly furnace and a large amount of divine universe golden stones. The stage transformation purple ginseng has not matured yet, but he can't wait any longer. Therefore, he plans to use the pill transformation heavenly furnace to refine a bit of fertilizer and then combine it with runes to let the stage transformation purple ginseng absorb energy faster, and then let the stage transformation purple ginseng grow faster. The stage transformation purple ginseng is a very good divine medicine. It can let him quickly pass through the divine heavenly monarch stage. It is enough for him to put in the effort to study a method to quickly grow stronger. If I want to use the reincarnation gate well, I need enough power. I should wait until I break through. Chapter 2708. Qin Yun took out the pill transformation heavenly cauldron and a pile of divine universe goldstones. He was thinking about how to refine better fertilizer. Inside a pearl of the 9 yang divine spirit, there was the divine yang heavenly soil and the white divine Sunday. This was a very good environment for growing medicinal herbs. If he wanted the stage of perfection sage ginseng to mature even faster, then he could only speed up the time change within it. Qin Yun was still unable to control time, so he could only think of refining fertilizer. Let's refine the divine universe golden stone first. Qin Yun patted the pill transformation heavenly furnace and transmitted his thoughts to it. After the pill transformation heavenly furnace fused with the sky universe essence body, it became a sky universe divine artifact with its own consciousness. After Qin Yun placed the pile of divine universe goldstones into the pill transformation heavenly furnace, he said, "Small furnace, help me refine these divine universe goldstones." Refining 10 divine universe goldstones into 1 shouldn't be a problem, right? He placed 1,000 divine universe goldstones into the pill transforming heavenly furnace. More than half of them would be used to power the divine universe goldstones. Therefore, in the end, he could only refine about 50 pills. Qin Yun only wanted to refine the divine universe metal rock. If necessary, he could put in the sun, moon, divine flame liquid to refine the divine universe golden bullets. The pill transformation heavenly furnace could refine on its own, so there was no need for Qin Yun to watch over it. Qin Yun also took the opportunity to get the little queen ant to bring him outside. He wanted to ask the Kuan Peng when he would leave the fifth divine sun. This was because when Kuan Peng left the fifth divine sun, it was very likely that those big shots would arrive. With the nine sun Kuan Peng around, even the great divine monarchs of the nine sun sacred ground would not dare to act recklessly. When Qin Yun came outside, Yang Yang immediately flew over and laid on Qin Yun's back. She complained, "Big brother, big fish, is asleep. This guy suddenly fell asleep while I was chatting with him. He's really not a good friend." What fell asleep? Qin Yun could sense that the speed at which the nine suns Kuan Peng absorbed divine power had increased significantly. This was the final stage of its evolution. Qin Yun placed Yang Yang into the nine Yang divine soul and took out the devil mirror. He contacted Yu Yao Yao, Long Shu, Xin Sha, and Xia Wufeng. He asked them about the current situation of the heavenly mandate's sacred land. "Yao Yao, are there any new developments?" asked Qin Yun. "Mr. Qin, where are you? I couldn't contact you before," Imperial Demon asked. "I thought something had happened to you." Qin Yun said with smile, "What can happen to me? I'm beside your Kuan Peng." As he spoke, he took a picture of the nine suns Kuan Peng's body and sent it to Yu Yao Yao. When Yu Yao Yao saw this, she asked in shock, "Where are you? How did my Kuan Peng become like this?" "After becoming the nine suns Kuan Peng, of course I've changed a lot. This big fellow is currently sleeping. I met the nine sun Kuan Peng inside the fifth divine sun." Qin Yun replied, "Fifth divine sun? They're preparing to go to the four god suns." Yu Yao Yao said, "Because the Sun En divine tribe and the Great Sky divine tribe failed to enter the four divine suns last time. Therefore, they will enter this time." "These bastards." Qin Yun cursed softly and said, "Then, did they say that they would come to the fifth divine sun? I've never heard of it." Imperial Demon Yao said, "If there are any updates, I'll contact you again." Qin Yun was worried that the group of bigwigs would come to the fifth divine yang, but he never expected them to go to the fourth divine yang. Xin Sha Zi also sent a message to Qin Yun, telling him that he is preparing to follow the group to the fourth divine yang. Long Shu's message to Qin Yun is more or less the same. The only difference is that she said that after the dragon race entered the fourth divine yang, they would occupy a larger area inside. "Motherfucker, I participated in the creation of the fourth divine yang. How can I let you guys relax inside?" Qin Yun is very unhappy in his heart and immediately contacted Wukong. And Wukong has not shown himself during this period of time. His alien void race is also a very strong race. The spatial origin stone they control is also something that many other races covet. Therefore, they are hiding very well. "Brethren, I am in the fifth divine yang. When will you arrive? Come here, send me off. I want to go to the fourth divine yang. Those guys are going to the fourth divine yang. I can't let them live comfortably inside." Qin Yun contacted Wukong. "I will be there very soon, but I can only go to the outside of the fifth divine yang. I can't go in. I tried before, but I couldn't go in no matter what. I will go out and wait for you." Qin Yun said, "What? You are inside the fifth divine yang?" And Wukong is very shocked. He said with smile, "As expected of Brother Qin, you can actually enter the fifth divine yang." Qin Yun said with smile, "Of course, the formation of the fifth divine yang is also related to me." Qin Yun asked Yang Yang to bring him out, and very soon they met up with Wukong. And Wukong is very unhappy with those strong races because their alien void race can't defeat them. Moreover, he received news that some strong races are eyeing their spatial origin stone and want to take it away. Qin Yun was someone Wukong trusted. Therefore, Wukong had a good relationship with Qin Yun. And Wukong immediately brought Qin Yun inside the fourth divine yang. Inside the fourth divine yang, many houses have been built using Qin Yun's stone creation divine tool. Without Qin Yun's stone creation divine tool, the stones and other materials brought in from outside would quickly corrode, making it very difficult to build houses. Qin Yun used the Devil Mirror to contact the violent Sun Tiger Emperor, Sun Dragon Emperor, Wang Haoyue, and the Heavenly Lion Race Emperor. He told them that he, Qin Yun, will temporarily destroy the buildings of the four divine yang and make the stone creation divine tools lose their effectiveness so that those strong races won't feel comfortable inside. These few big shots have a pretty good relationship with Qin Yun. Moreover, they all know that without Qin Yun's permission, it would be impossible for them to have a territory inside the four divine yang. Therefore, they all agreed. They only hope that Qin Yun won't hurt their people. When Qin Yun created the stone creation divine tools, he left behind a trick. He can control it and make the stone creation divine tools lose their effectiveness. He first made the stone creation divine tools lose their effectiveness and then entered the core of the four divine yang. He let the little ant queen bring him into the second layer space of the core and found Yu Yu. Yu Yu is very happy to see Qin Yun. When she found out what happened in the Divine Desolate during this period of time, she became very angry. Leave it to me. As long as they come in, I will cause an earthquake above, and those houses will collapse. Yu Yu asked, do you want me to teach them a lesson? No need. Among those guys, there are great divine kings and many experts from the Nine Sun Holy Land. Don't anger them for now. Qin Yun said, I'm going to the five divine yang. My furnace is still there. All right, I'll send you there. Yu Yu immediately sent Qin Yun inside the five divine yang. Qin Yun is only inside the five divine yang and did not enter the core. He contacted Wu Yukong and told him to return. After doing all this, Qin Yun's mood became a lot more comfortable. Qin Yun did not immediately enter the core space of the five divine yang. Instead, he took out the Devil Mirror and contacted Xie Wufeng again. However, there is still no response. He can't contact Xie Wufeng, so he can only contact the Divine Judge. Divine Judge, are you with Boss Xie? Qin Yun asked. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.